This here tonight, originally we were going to be playing the Lost City, but because of how many people we have, we had to make some adjustments and do some. And DCC Lankhmar is kind of perfect for having a smaller party size because it was sort of designed with the idea of the books. Fritz Leiber, had kind of two main protagonists, so 2 to 3 players is 2 to 3 player characters is kind of the typical range. And let's see, we've got some things happening in here already. So I think Pruno is redeeming a point of fleeting luck for each of you right from the get-go.
Hey.
So
Aww.
that's nice.
Awesome.
I've got a little tracker here underneath each of your names, so we'll be able to keep track of that. If you're stopping by for the first time and you haven't seen any of our streams yet, please do follow the channel so you can get notifications when we go live. On typical weeks, we have something going on just about every day. And if you're ever interested in seeing what's going on the channel, just check out the schedule in the info section of the channel. Should be, if you're on a PC, right below the video feed. You can check it out there. Otherwise, we always have our schedules get posted up in our Discord server as well. Without further ado, what we're playing here tonight is a module that we did do once already on the channel, but neither Robin or David have played it, so I don't think either of you saw that game happen. So we're playing this one, Cheating Death. It's a level 1 adventure. So chat, feel free to ask questions as we're going along. DCC is a little bit different than 5e, and I don't play DCC enough to know the rules inside and out, so question us on things or ask questions. We'll learn things together along the way. So all right, well, we'll do a little introduction here. I'll lead the little intro into the story, and then maybe we'll have our characters introduce themselves so we can see who our cast is for the evening. So where we pick up here, it is the year of the Leviathan, the month of the serpent, the day of the vulture. You are a band of, the two of you are either pickpockets or sell swords or treasure hunters that have found themselves making a journey to the edges of the Great Salt Marsh and the Mountains of Hunger, where the city of Lankhmar sits. You've bribed the guard at the end gate with your last remaining silver smurducks, or so you've led your companion to believe. You've entered Lankhmar, the city of 70,000 smokes, without registering your weapons with the constable. You've been staying maybe for a night or two above a butcher's shop. Genna, the butcher, rented you the cramped little apartment above her shop on Barter Street and assured you of her confidentiality, that you could stay there for 1 gold rilk a week. And so this has been a kind of convenient arrangement for you to stow away there when maybe things get a little hot and you need to kind of stay off the streets for a little bit, or you're worried that someone spotted you from a job that you'd done. You've been able to spend some time here, and with your last few remaining coin, you've been spending it on sour wine at the nearby tavern, the Feathered Behemoth Tavern. I think I've got a little image here that I could pop up. Might look like something from a familiar artist. If you can make your fortune while avoiding entanglements with the Overlord, Lankhmar will open up its great treasures to you, but it's difficult to concentrate on the future. While the flies of the Feathered Behemoth buzz around your head and the scent of rancid meat and overspiced perfume fills the air. As you're nursing your drink, you're kind of casually listening to some of the faint conversation happening here in the Feathered Behemoth. It's morning, so you've come over this way to grab a drink, maybe catch news, and maybe are looking for any signs of another job or another way to make some more coin for yourselves. And with that, why don't we open it up to have the two of you introduce your characters to us? And so we'll start first. Let's learn a little bit about Hobart the Hunter.
Sure. Hobart the Hunter is a forester from the land of the Eight Cities. He's very accomplished in his outdoorsmanship and trapping, and he specializes in killing rats of various sizes, selling their pelts. He's kind of a big deal where he comes from, but he's a long way from home, and he's actually kind of playing the role of treasure hunter these days, but he's on a very specific mission that he is loath to tell anyone about because it's a little bit embarrassing.
All right, sounds good. And next up, we have Villarry Crook.
All right. Yeah. Villarry comes from the north, the northern area, the cold wastes. And as many of us who live in Wisconsin might be able to sympathize, she's not fond of cold weather and snow and ice. So she decided to leave the hunting, trading lifestyle and try to make her own way. And so far, that basically means doing a lot of pickpocketing, whatever jobs she can find. She's got like dark, curly, like really frizzy hair that just goes off in all directions, and one gold tooth in the front of her mouth that she's extremely proud of that she was able to get from some undisclosed location, and it fits, it works. Not all the rest of the teeth are there, but she's not necessarily getting by on her looks. The scurvy living up in those cold wastes, a lot of tooth decay and loss.
So yes, the two of you, and likely either the two of you are both like renting a room at the above the butcher's shop, or you've made acquaintance with each other, and have maybe even been doing like a couple of jobs together at this point. And now you find yourselves in this tap room of the Feathered Behemoth. Again, it's there's a fair amount of people in here. They've got kind of a brunch crowd that has filled the hall, and is taking in some of the not so great food, but it is enough to bring a few interesting characters in, and you're kind of gazing about, taking in your food, and your the young woman who took your order brings over your drinks and your food, and in short order, you were joined at your table by a very kind of flamboyantly dressed woman. She has sort of a strange look about her. She has a number of piercings above her eyebrows, and a silk headscarf, very, very colorful, purples and pinks. And as you're gazing at her, like she just has all these like different things about her appearance that make her seem just a little bit off. Like she's wearing some kind of eyeshadow that's two different colors. Like she just has this kind of gaudy appearance. Maybe that's what I'm getting at. And she sits down with her like a fluted glass in hand, and she seems eager to make your acquaintance. And she says, "Oh, the two of you. I apologize if this is a little forward of me, but are the two of you new to town? I think I saw that you were shacking up there across the street at the butcher's place."
Well, I've been around for a little bit, but kind of new. Yeah. I'm not shacking up with him though. We just met not too long ago.
Yes, she speaks truly. And who might you be?
Well, my name is Gisla. I am a merchant here in town. I come and go, and I couldn't help but notice the two of you. Are you sell swords, or are you here in Lankhmar to enjoy in the prospect of great wealth?
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm here. Great wealth, lots of money, making a fortune, right?
I, in fact, am a soldier of fortune from far away, and just happen to be in your neck of the woods, and always willing to lend a hand if the price is right.
Well, I think you've come to the right place. Many of your type here in the Feathered Behemoth. I'm sure you'll find some jobs. Have you had much success quite yet? Have you found any bits of fortune? Oh,
I just smiled so she could see my tooth.
I kind of straighten up my rat skin cloak and kind of puff up my chest a little bit and say, well, a life of a soldier of fortune is, you put yourself in great danger for great rewards, and then you enjoy the spoils. So always looking for the next adventure, kind of equivocating and not directly answering the question.
well, that certainly is the right attitude to have here. You got to be bold. You got to take some great risks if you're going to make a fortune here. How long are we going to be staying in town?
Well, I don't have any immediate plans to go anywhere else. Just kind of want to see what I can do, who I can meet, money to make.
Hobart the Hunter goes where he's needed. If I am needed here, I shall stay.
You can both make a personality check as you're talking with her. I think Robin, did you have something that was like you have a hard time like understanding the things of the city or something
Yeah,
like
I'm
that?
uncivilized.
Okay.
So I have a negative 1D penalty for all skills and ability checks within the environment interacting with civilized people. So
So you
does
could
that
roll
mean I
a
take it down
yeah,
from a
you'll roll a
D20?
you'll roll a D16 on this one.
Okay. I can't help it. I'm just not very, you know. Oh, but look at that. It's a 3. That's a good number, right?
Yeah. As you're talking with her, she seems very friendly, and she's asking you lots of questions. She's taking an interest in you, and Hobart, you're feeling kind of the same. It's kind of nice to be. You're finding the people of Lankhmar to be really friendly, and you're feeling like the Feathered Behemoth. It could be like maybe a new hideout for you. You feel really at ease and comfortable here. And as you're talking, suddenly, Hobart, as you're maybe leaning in to get a little bit more bread or something like that, suddenly you hear kind of a crack, and you feel as if the leg of your chair has just snapped. Please give me a reflex saving throw.
Okay.
Okay. You manage, so you hear the crack, and you manage to kind of like grab hold of the table and kind of pull yourself up before you collapse or fall. The chair collapses backward, and what ends up happening is one of the wait staff holding a platter trips over it, and you watch as that person kind of tumbles forward, and this tray that they were holding, it had some like a wheel of cheese and a kind of a large inappropriately sized knife for what they were serving, like a sharp, really sharp, like kind of like meat cutting blade goes flying, and you watch as it goes like straight down, and had you not like pulled yourself up, like you could just see like, yeah, that would have like probably struck you.
Reflexes like a cat.
Oh, you have a little bit too much meat for breakfast there, huh, Hobart? It's too
No,
early in the day for that.
If that were true, it would have struck me.
Got to keep your chair all legs on the floor.
And Villarry, as you're kind of commenting on Hobart's bit of luck there, you see from the corner of your eye, there's a table of men that have like hanging on the wall. There's like this just a piece of like unfinished wood that has a bunch of like cut notches in it, and they've been like throwing daggers at it and some kind of like a knife throwing, how close can they get to the target kind of game. And one of the daggers hits that board and comes flying in your direction, spinning kind of wildly with like really strange like precision, right towards you. And you can also give me a reflex saving throw.
Okay, I get a +3 to that.
You manage to, like, you see it coming, you dodge out of the way, and it goes soaring past you and, like, hits the wall behind you.
Oh my goodness, guys, be careful. You're going to put an eye out with that.
And the one man that it seems like has thrown the thing kind of disregards your comments and is more concerned about retrieving his dagger than making any apologies for his fault. And Gisla, who's at the table with you, she just says, strange things like that have been happening. I've heard of, well, all sorts of nonsense. I've animals on edge, attacking their owners, and people just combusting and immolating. It's not right. Something unnatural is on the air.
Well, that would be pretty strange, animals bursting into flame and stuff. Or wait, I think I combined the two. Maybe I combined the two.
Well, I can't rule that out. I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but there's a lot of paranoia on the air. So a lot of unnatural things. I've even heard that Wraithig, the gem merchant, he's so paranoid he hired a retinue of slayers to keep watch over his shop.
Do you need any such protection? You appear to be a merchant here in this fine city.
No, I don't subscribe to such fears. I can handle myself. But thank you for asking.
You just came to join us in a drink.
Why, yes, I did. Well, it was good.
I just raise a glass and you cheers with her. Take a drink.
She's clearly getting a little nervous as you start asking her questions, and she raises a drink along with you. And with that, suddenly the door to the Feathered Behemoth bursts open, and there's a well-dressed man that enters into the tap room, and he's like sweating. He's a bearded man. He's got kind of crescent-shaped spectacles, and he just looks like he's scanning around the tavern kind of frantically, and he just says, "There's trouble at the aviary. I could pay 3 silver smurducks to anyone who will provide assistance."
I slam the rest of my drink and say, "Time to go to work."
Oh, silver smurducks. Those are pretty cool. Let's go for it, huh?
Gisla, like as you get up, Gisla kind of like grabs your shirt and like kind of pulls you down for a second, and she says, "Do you know who that is?"
Watch the rat hide cloak. I worked very hard producing this, but what you were saying?
That right there, that is one of the attendants for the bird keeper at the aviary. A very, very important place here in Lankhmar. All of the messages that leave Lankhmar to either go to Ilthmart to the east or even up to the Great Forest to the north, all messages The Thieves Guild uses them. The Slayers use them. Even the Overlord and the official government here in Lankhmar, they all use these birds.
So you're
You can
saying
bet.
that perhaps they could part with a few more Smurdoks then? A whole flock of Smurdoks?
Maybe. Or maybe you just find your way there and you make them part with them yourself.
There's an idea. One way or another, we're gonna get paid today.
Yeah, there might be some pretty important messages there, Hobart. We could maybe swipe a couple, find out what's going on.
You do your thing.
And you see this man, this well-dressed servant, apparently of the bird keeper, is still just like, well, 4 silver Smurducks, please, anyone.
Up to 4. Oh, I'll do it. What kind of help do you need, Mr. Birdman, sir?
Birdman, sir?
It's an unknown school of wizardry. Really cutting edge. He comes over by you and he says, "Oh, you're interested in the job? Well, I'm afraid I don't exactly know what to tell you about it, other than that something's definitely wrong at the aviary. All the birds are dying."
Are they bursting into flame?
No, nothing so dramatic, but they're just they're keeling. They're well fed, they're well attended to, but they just seem to be dying in their sleep.
Well, I think that's right up our alley.
Oh yeah, you betcha. We're experts on bird disease and bird death.
I'm an expert outdoorsman. I've come across many a bird. Let us away.
Well, then you're exactly the type of person I need. I don't know if it's of natural causes. I mean, the pollution here in Lankhmar, of course, has always been an issue, but it has never had such an effect on the birds. I worry that there could be some magical issue, or maybe a curse, or I don't know who would want to do this to such an essential service of the city, but hopefully if you come with me, you'll be able to inspect the site and see if you might be able to make sense of it.
How long is... Oh, sorry, go ahead there, Hobart.
Just gonna say I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of it after maybe another inquiry from my partner here.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, how long has this been going on that these birds have been dying in their sleep and everything?
Well, it's very recent. It started with just maybe a few 2 days ago, but then last night it clearly took over. Nearly all of them are dead, except for 2 of the rarer, more exotic birds that my master keeps.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to, scope it out, right? Right, Hobart, there? Gonna go
Absolutely. Let us away.
And so you make your way out onto the street, onto Carter Street. And I share an image, and I'm going to remember that I need to change my tunes here on Sirenscape.
Why, are we still in the tavern sound-wise?
Yes.
Is that bard still playing?
And so you step out into the busy Carter Street. It is a wide street, and no matter the time of day, it's cluttered with Lankhmarts going about their business. Stone buildings with crumbling wooden facades line the eastern side, while new structures atop old line the western side. Some of the 3- and 4-story construction just kind of leans ominously over the street, almost haphazardly, like it kind of has that feel from Harry Potter when they're in Diagon Alley. A lot of those buildings are kind of leaning and wobbly, looking over the street. It kind of feels like that, and you can see like up and down the street there is scaffolding of construction crews that seem to be adding new construction over the old, and sort of making these renovations that really kind of clash with the old architecture. There are traveling merchants that are dragging carts through the traffic of the street, dirt-caked children playing with broken wooden toys, and bearded men with cloaks that dart into alleys to avoid watchful eyes. And him just is the man that is bringing you. He at some point here gives you his name, and he tells you that he is a servant of the bird keeper whose name is Cassinth. And as you're strolling with him on Carter Street, the two of you can, well, I'll let you choose. You can either do an intelligence check or another personality check, just picking up things maybe on the street as you're walking and passing by all these different characters in Lankhmar.
I'll do a personality. The modifier will be the same, but he's more of a personality guy than an intelligence guy.
Well, not that Villary's very smart, but she's going to try to use some of her smarts and her D16 to see if she can figure out what's going on.
So, we'll start first here with Hobart. I think maybe you were starting to pick up something that was a little weird or a little off with Gisla when she was talking with you. And you look over near the butcher's shop, and you can see that there's like 3 or so black-cloaked 2 men, 1 woman, who are kind of like loitering there. And you just like putting together like all the questions that Gisla was asking you. It seemed like she was really interested in how long were you staying? Are you staying at the butcher's shop? You're getting the feeling that these 3 are kind of casing maybe your apartment or making plans, maybe to rob you later. So you're kind of feeling maybe at this point, if you get any wealth or whatnot, maybe the butcher's shop isn't the best place to go and crash tonight. Villarry, you're not so in tune with everything that's happening in the city and like what are tells that you're in danger and such, but you do know a crossbow when you see one. And there is a cart that's coming your direction down the street, and there are 3 it's being pushed by this one bearded man, and there are 2 others, leather cloaks, hoods up, and 2 of the men alongside the cart, they have their hands under a tarp, and you think that you see like where their hands are at. It really looks like they're maybe holding crossbows under there, and it looks like they're looking straight towards you as they're probably maybe like 150 feet away, but you see them through the crowd. And all the while, him is just kind of talking, and he's telling you about the different types of birds, and you're maybe not paying attention so much to him as you're having this awareness of things that are happening.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, him just yeah. Oh, and those birds, and then I'll just kind of whisper to Hobart. I think those guys over there, they have like a crossbow trained on us. Doesn't look very friendly.
I was looking at those guys that seem to be casing our temporary living quarters. The city seems to be less and less friendly toward us. I have my hand on my hilt and kind of my buckler up a little bit now, kind of in front of my body with the mention of the word crossbow.
Yeah, and I'll step in behind Hobart there and kind of try to hide behind him as we're walking. Just, you just block all that. That's really, you're nice and tall.
So
What do you think they want? I mean, do you think they want my tooth?
They want to rob us or do something worse, so we must either evade them or surprise them. Do you have a preference?
Oh, I like surprising, but
All right.
not quite yet. There's a lot of them. Let's see if we can
Oh,
get to the
I was
bird.
about to rush forward, but hearing that, I kind of like, oh, all right.
So you're hoping to maybe duck into like a side street, maybe take a long way around to get where you're going.
Yeah,
Yes,
let's see
good,
if we can lose them.
good birdman, sir. Let's take this this alley here, and I kind of just pull him off down a side route.
Sure. So I think the challenge here is probably can you can you kind of do this while yourself maybe kind of getting having them get lose track of you within the crowd. So why don't we have both of you do maybe agility checks?
Well, it's 15 plus 1 modifier.
I
Okay.
get a +2. Yeah.
Yeah, so the two of you are able, very easily be able to kind of duck down out of their line of sight, and then you kind of wait for an opportunity to kind of peel off from the crowd and into a darkened alley. Well, maybe not necessarily darkened alley, but just like a less disused. This is a very wide, busy street, and so there are definitely a few other streets. We'll say that you kind of peel off onto Barter Street, and manage to make your way around and out of their sight.
If there are any barrels or crates or anything, I'd probably try to like kick them over so a cart would have great difficulty navigating the narrow passage.
Okay, so you do that. You kick over a barrel, and this could maybe serve as sort of a momentary obstruction if they did see you and were coming down this way. But as you do that, give me a roll me a d6. So you pull this barrel down, you kick it down the street, and as you do, it's just kind of like you stepped backward awkwardly on a piece of cobblestone that sort of like wasn't like grouted down like real tight, and it like kind of slips upward and takes your heel along with it. Give me a reflex saving throw.
14.
And you manage to like grab hold of like the window. There's like an open window nearby. You manage to grab hold of that and kind of steady yourself before. If you would have fallen backwards, you probably would have smacked your head pretty rough against the street and maybe taken a little bit of damage.
I turn to Villarry and say, like a cat.
Yeah, but there's just a lot of. I wonder if the birds aren't the only ones that are jinxed right now. That's the second time you almost went down there, Hobart. And
Yes.
that knife bouncing back at me, that was weird. I've thrown a lot of knives in my days, and they don't usually bounce back like that.
Something to consider.
Villarry, as you're continuing forward, let's have you roll me a d6 as well.
All right. I'm looking for like black cats and ladders, making sure I don't step on any cracks.
So up ahead, you do see like at the corner of this street as you're about to like kind of hook you were heading north previously, so you're trying to find like the next street to go north just to kind of circumvent Barter Street there. You see a ladder. It's leaning up. There's someone that's like kind of painting some shutters on a second floor.
Yeah, I don't want to walk under that ladder. I mean, our luck has been kind of bad. So I better be careful.
Yeah, there's definitely like enough clearance where you could like make a wide berth around it and not even get close to it. But as you do so, there's like a different threat on the other side of the street. There's like someone has like just opened a window and is tossing out like a bucket of like their waste or whatever, and like dumping it out into the street. As that happens, go ahead and make a. I think this is probably again a reflex save.
Okay. Oh, that's a 9 total.
Okay. So for whatever reason, that's what it looked like someone with a pail that was dumping it out into the street. You didn't want to get hit by whatever it is. Tried to dodge out of the way. But what it actually is a bunch of hot embers for whatever reason that they're dumping out this window and into the street. And a couple of the coals kind of catch your skin. You take a point of damage.
Oh, that hurt. You guys, don't be throwing that stuff out the window. You're going to burn somebody.
Better than a crossbow bolt.
You got to watch out for those people here. They throw everything out the window. But at least I didn't go under the ladder, Then my luck will be good, right?
Sure.
So him just is, you can see he's he's observed like these kind of strange things that are happening to you, but he says, I've been hearing stories of things like this have been happening around in Lankhmar the past couple of days. You don't think maybe it has something to do with what is happening to the birds?
Well, they certainly are unlucky if they're all dead. So I guess there's an air of truth to that.
Yeah, there seems to be something that just wants to, kill at least everybody around us. You don't think it's just us, do you, Hobart?
Well, that rather garish lady back at the inn seemed to think that there were people having worse luck than us. We haven't burst into flames. You maybe got a couple embers on you, but I wouldn't get too paranoid about it. I'm more worried about those people who were looking for us and potentially out to harm us. I think we should just hurry on our way.
And you make it back onto another busy street heading north, and you're able to from there take another intersection onto Cash Street and make your way towards the aviary. And as you're making your way there, you're back like in kind of the masses again. So there's a lot of people around, and sort of it's a clear day. Like, I mean, as clear as it gets in Lankhmar. There is just kind of always this pervasive heavy smog that kind of lingers. Just people are burning their trash, burning fires, and so there's just always kind of a haze. But it's I guess what I'm getting at is there's no rain cover, there's no cloud cover, it's not looking like it's a rainy day or anything like that. And just suddenly out of nowhere, like someone like right in front of you, there is a kind of maybe like middle-aged man that is walking, and suddenly out of nowhere a bolt of lightning hits him and he collapses to the ground. And you can see like his clothing is all kind of like charred up as this happens. There's a gasp from everybody that turns around and has witnessed this. His clothing is all kind of like burned up and scorched, and he's laying prone on the city street.
Hobart takes a knee and is pretending to like make sure he's okay, but also somewhat rifling through his pockets as he does so. Sir, are you okay, sir?
Go ahead and make like a I think an agility check. Okay. You managed to, let's see how much he would have.
He looked like quite the wealthy gentleman to me, but
He has a single silver Smurduck on his person, and 3 copper pennies. Which, probably for a peasant, that's probably actually pretty decent pocket change. He is breathing as you are rifling through his pocket. He's still he just looks like kind of bewildered, and in
Someone
shock.
call this man a healer. What? Come, we will fetch one, and then I just kind of let's go.
Oh yeah, okay. Did you get anything good?
Oh, at least one Smurdock. I can feel it.
He's still breathing. He'll be fine, I'm sure.
He'll just be happy he's alive. That's the least of his worries right now.
Yeah, but where did that lightning bolt come from? I mean,
I don't know. The sooner we get indoors, the better, maybe. At least in an aviary. What? The worst we have to worry about is dead birds falling on us?
a lot of them could do some damage, especially if it's from a great height. I'd be careful.
So, Birdman, sir, are the birds that are dead still up in the trees, or did they already fall?
He says, well, in about a moment, I'll be able to show you. We keep them on the highest level of a tower from where we dispatch the messages and the letters. It is actually up there that they all still remain in their cages.
Then I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, but if it's up high in cages and the cages start falling, maybe, we should just kind of walk around with our hands above our heads so, you can block off anything that might be
I'll have
falling.
my shield at the ready. You be ready to dodge if you need to.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan then.
So, I think I just popped up the map. Are you able to see that?
Yep.
Yep.
So right where the pointer is, that's where the feathered behemoth was.
Okay.
And you can see Carter Street kind of runs sort of north to south. That's where you were initially traveling. And then you took your rendezvous down Damp Street, back up and across Cash Street to over here, where the aviary is. And so as you're approaching and you're following him, he takes you to what looks like kind of like a one-story little cottage, I guess, and sort of it's attached to a tower that rises up maybe 3 stories, and you can see that on the top story of that tower there are a number of just wooden shuttered windows, maybe 8 in total, that run around the circumference of the tower. And it's just kind of got a pointed roof. And so this seems to be the aviary. And he goes up to the door and opens it up. And inside is a pretty kind of nondescript room. But you can see a number of stairs that seem to lead up and seem to probably go into the conjoined tower next door. He kind of waves for you to follow him, and he goes up the stairs, at which point you can see that it seems like the tower itself doesn't actually have stairs that lead up. It's just a series of ladders going up to the second tier, and then from the second tier another ladder going up to the third tier. Or at least that's the setup that should be. One of the ladders is actually knocked over, and you can see an old man laying there. It looks like his neck is a little kind of stuck out a little bit. He's still breathing, but he's kind of moaning a little bit, and he just says, him just help, I've fallen. I need your help.
I rush to his side and kind of feel for.
I'm sorry, I think I got a little lag spike there. You running up pocket?
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of do what I just did with the lightning victim and try to seemingly comfort him while checking his vitals, but really looking for his coin purse.
So the complication here is him just runs up also, pretty eager to help him out. He's looking at you and he says, Oh, we can't leave him here like this. We help me move him. We bring him to his bedroom and get him in bed.
Oh, but his neck is looking all bent like, and you got to be really careful moving when there's a neck injury. You could sever the spinal cord and everything.
You think it's best we leave him here?
Well, I mean, I think it's important to have someone who knows what they're doing look at that neck. Is there someone close by you could go and, a doctor or something, and we can just kind of keep an eye on him till you get back?
Make a personality check.
Probably have to use that D16 again too. All right, takes a second, sorry, to get the correct. There we go. Okay. Oh, I got a 6.
Oh, and Londoc just redeemed fleeting luck for both of you, so you both have 2 points of fleeting luck now at this point.
Oh, let's see. So the fleeting luck, would I be able to do something with that to make my 6 any better? Be
Yeah.
a little more lucky?
So in DCC, I generally tell you what the difficulty checks are, so you know, is it even worth it? So I'm looking for a 10 on this one.
Okay. Wow. And so my luck would be a D3. I would have to roll that for each point.
Well, actually, let me take that down just a little bit. Because he's concerned about him, so let's make it an 8.
An 8. Oh, I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to use one of those fleeting luck and see if I can. I have to click on here and pick the 3. There we go. Oh, look at that. Now I got it up to an 8.
So you managed to convince him that getting a proper healer is the best way to go here. And him just says, you're right. It's one thing to lose the birds, but Cassynth there's no replacing him. I think that there is a medicine person just down the street. Just wait here, comfort him, take care of him. I'll be right back. And
Okay.
he takes his leave of you as the old man is saying, Hemjus, don't leave me here with these strange people. Hemjus!
You're in excellent hands. Why don't Villarry, why don't you go inside and see if you can get some water or anything else that may enrich his experience while he's in such dire straits. And
I go from I was just kind of petting his head, trying to calm him down awkwardly, and then I go look for some water. That'll help. I'm sure that'll help the neck wound,
Yes, who knows what you may find. If you find something stronger, better than water, feel free to bring that as well. Sir, Birdmaster.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry to see you have fallen from your perch. Is there anything you wish to impart in case this wound proves fatal?
Death would have wanted to take me. He would have. I saw his face.
Saw Death's face?
Yes, I could see the light, and he was there in his grim visage, under his cold fabric, wielding a scythe, just like the stories say. He was there. I beheld him, and he beheld me, and I could feel it.
Before or after you fell?
This was after I fell. I'm sure of it. I fell, and I could feel it. He was taking me. The light was taking me, and he was there, but he stayed his hand. He could have taken me, but he didn't. I wonder I wonder why.
Perhaps you still have more birdly duties to attend to in this life.
No, I dare say it was something else. Something maybe, for some reason, I feel compelled to tell you this. But there is a man that claims that he had seen Death's Ledger, a man named Sidrillan, at the old leather library. Please, sir, I need to know for myself. I need to know whether my name is in that ledger.
Do you think maybe you are spared because you're wearing some sort of talisman or another magical means to keep death at bay?
I am but a simple man. I have no such things.
No lucky
I-
charms? No superstitious raiment of any kind?
Well, I mean, I have a few things that bear sentimental value to me, but no, nothing with protective properties.
What about a lucky coin? Have you checked your coins lately? Maybe one of them is blessed. I know you're in severe discomfort here. If you'd like me to take a gander, I just think if that were true, you'd want to know before we go get that whole death book thing.
He's kind of like, you can see his hand is like kind of like very, very wearily kind of poking around in his pocket, and he pulls out. He's got a couple of silver smurducks in his pocket, like 3 silver smurducks, and he says, I don't know, you have better eyes than I do. Please take a look. Tell me what you see.
I look at them all like I kind of turn away and hold them up, and I'm looking at them, and I return to him the 3 copper pennies in their play, and I just kind of like put it in his hand and close it. I'm sorry, it was a stupid notion. Let's tell me more about about Death's Ledger, and I kind of pocket then his smurducks in the pennies place.
Give me, I'm going to call this one just a luck check to see if he notices. Because they probably are a little bit different size. You know, he might pick up on it. So with luck checks, the way you do that is it's a D20, and you want to roll under your luck score. And with a 4,
there you go.
I imagine you did that. So this is, luck check is the one where you want to low roll. So he pockets the coins, and he says, but I'm in so much pain.
I almost found something. I'm looking for a cup, and there's some like banging around in the room I'm in. I also am looking, like, I'm going to bring him something, but I'm looking to see if there's any like good alcohol that I could pocket too. Just, water it down a little bit and put some in my water skin perhaps.
Yeah, so basically in that entranceway where you came in, you went up the stairs to kind of this landing where you found him laying. But back in that entranceway, there was basically 2 doors that you could have gone in. One was like on the left-hand side of the room, and one was on the right-hand side as you came in. Probably just from your perspective from being outside of the building, you'd guess the room on the left-hand side goes to a much larger space, maybe a bedroom or something like that, and the other one is probably a much smaller space, maybe a closet or a storage room of some sort.
Well, let's see. So would the closet be kind of like a pantry kind of closet, maybe, to look in there?
Yeah, like a little bit more than just like a simple coat rack, but definitely smaller than the other room.
Well, that might be an interesting one to look at and see if there's anything in there.
Okay, so you open up the door to the closet, and inside there are sort of like almost like a gardener's shed kind of thing, like a lot of tools, and there are maybe some like kind of clippers and things like that for clipping the wings and trimming, taking care of the birds, and things for cleaning their little tools for cleaning their feet and things like that. But then there is like a shelf in there that does have a few bottles of alcohol, or what you would suspect is alcohol.
Oh, yeah, that looks pretty promising. Um, I do have a water skin, so I'm gonna try to do something with that where it's like I might just dump out the water, or kind of, if there's a cup or something, put some, kind of dilute what I'm gonna bring him, and then refill my water skin with whatever looks to be the fanciest alcohol. I'm not an expert on this, but maybe I'll sniff a couple bottles and, oh, that, yeah, pick the strongest one.
Yeah, none of the bottles look particularly like rare. Um, in most of them, a couple of them are unlabeled, but there's a few that stand out as Lankhmar. Sorry, not Lankhmar. Ilfmart sour wine, which is sort of a it's a sour red wine that Lankhmart's, I guess you'd call it its sister city to the east. They produce a lot of this wine. It's kind of their probably one of their main exports. It's a very popular beverage even here in Lankhmar. It doesn't age well, and so people tend to. This is like kind of the thing that gets consumed first because it spoils rather quickly. But that's probably the thing that you can identify out of all of these bottles. The others you might not be as sure of what they are.
Oh, that I like that. That I've been drinking a lot of that at that old, feathered behemoth. So I'll do that,
So
and I'll.
yeah, when you discard the water from your water skin, so this, if you drink this during like a rest, it'll give you a +1 on the healing from that rest.
Okay. All right. And then I'll try to get back and bring him, some of that to drink there. This can help with the pain a little bit while we're waiting for the doctor, I'm sure. Here you
So
go. And I'll try to feed it to him while he's like lying there.
and he drinks it, and as they're kind of sitting with him at some point, him just comes back and he says, "Ugh, I went down the street to try to fetch the medicine man, and he's not in right now. But I left a message with his wife, and he should be along in short order. But don't worry, Cassinth. Help is on the way. Hopefully, have you been tending to him? Is he okay? Has he said anything?"
He wants us to track down a fellow or fella named Sidrun, I think, and take a look at Death's Ledger. I don't know if that makes any sense to you.
He says, he just has like kind of a confused look on his face, and Cassinth is like reaching up and he says, "Hemjus, I know my name might be in the book. Death is calling me. What does he want with me?" And him just kind of like kneels down. He starts kind of petting him like, there, sir. Everything is going to be okay. You're not dying. You're going to make it.
Is this like typical for him to get like, all I mean, or is this, brought on by the shock of falling, do you think, him just
I've never heard him speak so much of the afterlife and of death, and no, this is very unusual. And Cassinth the whole time is like kind of muttering like, "I had a vision, I saw him. He stands 12 feet tall."
Oh, that's a lot taller than I would have expected, actually.
So, Birdman, sir, would you rather we go look at your dead birds or track down Death's Ledger for your boss here? One probably pays more than the other. I'm just putting that out there.
Him just says, "Well, if you wouldn't mind taking a look at the birds, I'm sure that this talk of death and to be honest with you, that place he's talking about, the man that he's talking about, it kind of gives me an odd feeling. I would stay away from him if I were you."
Fair enough.
He is the owner of a place called the Leather Library, a place of it is a library of very old tomes and such. But he keeps a number of other odd antiquities, and I think he's
Do you
one
think
of
they
those
would buy rat
spellcasters.
pelts? I can get them some good rat leather.
I wouldn't speculate as to what that man finds valuable or not, but that's my advice. I'd say stay away from him.
You know, it might help us if we get the names of all the birds that died too, because then if we do go look at the book later on, we can see if the birds' names are in there, and that might, kind of prove or disprove your boss's theory.
Him just kind of kicks this around and he says, it brings up an interesting question. Do you think that Death bothers to put down the names of Animalia into his tome? Or do birds have their own Grim Reaper that marks down books in some kind of a chicken scratch upon the sand?
Oh my goodness, now that just starts to get way too complicated. Oh, I
Why
have to
don't you just
ponder that.
tell us one man-given bird name, just so we have it.
And he takes you to where Tweety stayed, and
Sweetie, that's really original there, him just, I bet you gave a lot of thought to that one, huh?
well, I'm actually not in charge of naming them. Cassinth does all of that, and you can see where his brain is now. But yeah, he'll take you up into the aviary, so you could, if you're feeling okay with getting on a ladder, you can climb up there.
You know what? I can hold it there for you. I want to call you Hodar, but I know that's not your name. Hobart. And I can hold the ladder for you, and you could climb up there and take a look at those birds.
If you think I'm better suited for such things,
Or we could flip flop. You can hold the ladder. You're pretty strong, and then I'll climb up there and take a look.
let's do that. Your outside the box thinking makes me think that you would be the better investigator in this case.
Oh yeah, I think outside a lot of boxes. All right.
So
I'll climb up.
you manage to climb up there and get up. Him just goes up there with you, and you're just looking around. There's all these different these wooden cages that hang from the rafters, and they all have essentially carrier pigeons, and all of them are dead. There are only 2 birds that are still alive, and they're actually these 2 rainbow lorikeets that are in golden cages, and you don't get the sense that those 2 are used for messages and things like that. They're more of a maybe a pet, or sort of a special bird that Cassinth keeps around. The whole place just is kind of like covered in bird waste and just kind of has a sort of rank odor and such, but that is what you see when you get up there.
So, I'm just kind of curious. Are there any people that might benefit from no messages coming out of the city? Him just.
Well, I imagine there probably is, but I don't know who that person would be. Who would want to shut down communications between people? It would have to be for some nefarious reason, and I can't even begin to understand the motivations behind such a person.
Did you get any really special messages lately? Any messages that were supposed to go out and just they now couldn't because all the birds are dead?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I try not to read any of the messages, especially the things that we get from the Thieves Guild.
Oh, yeah.
It's best not to know, or even be suspected of knowing too much with regards to them.
Yeah, I mean that is pretty smart. Sometimes knowing something, all of a sudden, then they got to kill you. Well, let me take a look at these birds and see what I can figure out. Maybe maybe my expert medicine abilities. I've seen a lot of birds in my day. And I'll, kind of just act like I know what I'm doing, pick it up, look at it, like wiggle a leg, flap a wing, just kind of see if I can figure anything out.
Yeah, you can make an intelligence check.
Okay. Oh, 12.
Yeah, and a 12 is a very good check. As far as you can tell, there's nothing wrong with these birds. There's no trauma to any of them. They all look like they're young. Certainly not to the point of like that they died of, some disease or something like that. They all look like fit, and there's nothing physically wrong with them that you can tell.
Yeah, this is a real stumper. I don't understand what could have happened. They don't look old. They don't look sick. Maybe we should ask those two birds if they noticed anything.
You know how to talk to them.
I mean, I can talk to them, but I don't know what they would say. Like, I don't understand what they say back.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know that would be all that helpful.
Oh, you don't speak the
don't mean to
bird's
be
language.
rude.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
I mean I talk to them too sometimes, or sing them songs, and sometimes they sing back. Well, we've even had birds that come in here sometimes can mimic speech, but not true communication. You understand?
Do they seem afraid to you or anything? Like, do they seem spooked or nervous or?
He goes over to them and he's kind of looking in the cage and poking his finger in there, and you get the sense he's concentrating real hard to try to read bird behavior. And he after a long time just looks up at you and he says, "No, they don't seem like they're on edge at all. Maybe if they knew all of these things that we've been enduring on the street, maybe they would be a little bit more on high alert. But in the relative safety of this cage, they seem like they're fine."
You didn't happen to have any visitors lately that, would have done something magic-y to your birds, have you?
We typically don't let anybody up here. It's just me and Cassinth.
Oh, you feel very special.
Well, it's a lot of ladders, and most people don't want to go through the trouble.
Yeah, you might want to invest in some stairs someday, if you got the money for it. Maybe take out, a second mortgage on this place.
After this accident with Cassinth, I think something like that, or a dumbwaiter, or some kind of lift, I think would be in high demand for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think, there is a bit of a mystery here. Don't know what killed the birds. But maybe that death book isn't such a bad. Hey, Hobart, I don't see anything wrong with the birds.
But they're dead?
Oh, they are dead. Yeah. Other than them being dead, there's nothing wrong with them.
And they're all just pigeons, I take it?
Well, there's some real fancy ones up here, but they're not talking. They're still alive.
And their cage is secure. It wasn't bird murdering bird on bird violence.
But there's no damage to, like, there's no beak marks, no puncture wounds, no flap smothering, the wing smothers, none of that.
Cassinth is on the ground. He's looking up at you, Hobart. He says, "Oh, which one of these coins did you say was the lucky one?"
While they were up there, I was gonna try to pry him some information about Sidrun from him.
Okay.
Just learn a little bit more about that, and I would have just sort of like given him any sort of placating words, and then just kept trying to get him back, like, tell me more about the Leather Library, Death's Ledger, and all that stuff, because it sounds like maybe there could be something profitable there.
Sidrun is a old wizard. He's acquired many antiquities over the years, and I think he sees himself as some kind of messenger of the gods. It's all It's all Boulder Dash. But
Says the guy who just saw a 20-foot tall death.
I did see it. You
Maybe
must
it was
believe
one-
me.
Maybe it was one of the gods. Maybe Sidril will, maybe he put in a good word for you. Who knows?
Maybe you're right. I shouldn't be so quick to write it off. I do wish to know this about Death's Ledger, but would you go for me? Would you go and take a look?
Where is the leather library?
And he tells you that it is just down the way on off of Cash Street. So he gives you some directions, like you probably passed by the side street that it is on, because you took that way. So as he's describing the way to get there, it kind of feels familiar to you because you just came from that direction due to your rendezvous or your loop, your alternate route that you took. And he says, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything that I can offer you, but it would really calm my nerves and my mind to know that I wasn't marked.
Good birdmaster. Might you have any items or curios in your aviary that this wizard would find interesting? He may want to barter for the information you seek. If you could give us something of value that we might take to him, it could hasten the transaction and our knowledge-seeking efforts.
Make a personality check as you are kind of trying to convince him maybe to send over a gift or something like that. Okay, 13. He has a pained look on his face that doesn't seem to be from the physical pain that he is feeling, but he says, I know that he has often commented about my laricates. As loath as I am, I must know. I don't want to live the rest of my life looking over my shoulder whether death is going to grab hold of me. You could take one of them with you. Offer
Are
to
they
him
in
as a
one
gift.
cage or two different cages? Because, I mean, if they're both in the same cage, I think we probably should just take them both. Because
No, they're two different cages.
I yell up, Villarry, bring down one of those laricates, whatever kind of bird that is.
Oh, okay. Which
I'm
one
more-
of you wants to come with us? Who wants to go on a trip?
And they're both kind of hopping on their little stand in there.
All right. Oh, they're excited. They're excited to get outside, I think. So I'll just randomly choose one since they both look happy enough about it.
So you managed to make your way down with one of the cages without incident.
Thank you
Does
for
this one
holding
have
that
a
ladder.
name, Birdmaster? We want to know this bird's name in case he is in the book and not dead, or dies and then is in the book. Something to that effect.
This one is called Trixie.
Okay, Trixie, you're gonna come with us now. We're gonna see if we can, and I kind of have to say this, because I guess isn't everybody's name eventually gonna be in that book? I mean, everybody dies, so, is the book supposed to tell you when you're gonna die, or
Well,
if there's gonna be a check mark next to it, or?
I don't know. I didn't actually see the ledger myself in my vision. I just saw death, 14 feet
Oh.
tall.
Because what if your name is in there because you're human and you're gonna die sometime, but it won't be for like 10 years, like.
Villarry, let's not trouble this poor, pitiful man here. We will learn such things, and I'm sure be fairly compensated for our heroic efforts. Come, let us away.
We'll tell you what we find out. Good luck with the neck injury and all that.
And him just does give you the what 4 silver Smurducks each that he promised you for coming and taking a look. Even though you're now on maybe a much different kind of quest than solving some kind of bird mystery. So you make your way back out onto Cash Street, and you follow the directions given to you by Cassinth, and dart down a alleyway off the main street, and pretty soon you're standing before a sort of 2-story narrow building situated at the end of a cul-de-sac. And it has like a wooden sign hanging from the overhang of the building, showing kind of carved into its wood a book, and it says the Leather Library.
So before we enter this dubious establishment, were you able to find anything of value within the aviary? That merchant lady mentioned there could be secrets in there, and I didn't know if you came across anything on paper, either downstairs or when you went upstairs.
Well, in the closet, I found a bunch of like wing clipping stuff and foot cleaning stuff. Some wine. I got some good wine. But and I asked about messages, but him just was up there with me and everything, so I didn't see any messages sitting around.
What do you make of this errand we are on? Any insights? Do we just wing it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there is a thought that goes through my head that we have a really nice bird we could go sell, but I kind of am curious about the book, because our names might be in it too, those accidents that were happening today. Maybe it's a good idea to see if we can get a little peek.
Those are great insights, Villarry, and I don't find them to be mutually exclusive. We may, in fact, sell this bird to him and learn what we need to know.
Oh, see, that's why I partner up with you. You're the smart one.
We're a good team. Your very elliptical reasoning and unexpected insights never failed to amaze me. Come, let us go. And I knock. I kind of knock on the door, but if it looks like a shop front and open, then I would just try to open the door, I suppose.
It's hard to say, but you're guessing from the fact that it has like a actual sign out front that it might be a public, almost like a shop, or at the very least it's called library. You don't know, is that just a, you're just not sure, but you feel relatively comfortable that you could probably walk in here unannounced if you wanted to. And so you, opening the door gives view to this galley-like narrow room that has a number of shelves that contain colorfully bound leather books and strange artifacts. A number stick out to you. You see a crystalline globe with shimmering silver liquid swaying up one side and then down the other side, defying gravity. Another is a black serpent-toothed worm that seems to be racing around inside a glass sculpture as if trying to escape, but to no avail. And then you also see a framed parchment fragments on the wall with burn marks in alien letters. And there are 2 obsidian statues that seem situated right inside the entrance, kind of before you even see all the shelvings and things like that. These 2 obsidian statues of just kind of 2 men. Their heads seem to kind of like turn a little bit to look at you as you enter.
Cheery.
Oh, this place has some unusual stuff in it.
We seek the wizard. Easy here.
And as you kind of call out, you see two men kind of come into view, like they're out of eye shot because of all the shelves and things like that. But then they narrow in and are looking down, kind of a chasm of the two bookshelves. Both are armed with leather armor and short swords at hand at their hip, and they sort of looking at you curiously, and you see them kind of like approaching you, but then you hear a voice. You see that there's right past them there's a staircase that leads up to a second floor, and you hear a voice kind of calling down, yes, I've been waiting for them to arrive. Bring them to me. And you see the two guards that kind of look up, and then they look at you, and then they give you kind of the gesture that you can approach. And they escort you up to the upper floor. And you take the stairs up into what it looks like kind of like a sitting area. There is this very large, kind of overstuffed chair that is sitting in front of a roaring hearth. And you can kind of see smoke rings kind of coming from the other side of the chair. And you just hear like a voice say, I am Sid Rillin. I have seen your names on the ledger. It's about time you arrived. You wait tarry any longer, and you won't be alive to see the end of this tale.
Oh, okay. Just making sure we got the same name. What name did you see in the ledger there?
You are Villarry Crook, and
Oh,
you,
yeah,
sir,
that's it.
Hobart the Hunter.
Our reputations precede us, and apparently death hunts us.
Not exactly, sir. But he's taken a keen interest in you. You were supposed to die early this morning. While you were seated around.
Ugh, how inglorious.
Indeed. But when it didn't happen, death has decided that you might play a role in balancing his books.
We were sent here, and hold that thought, because I'm interested about my own fate, of course, but the Birdmaster from down the way is very curious whether he appears in that ledger, given that he saw a 14-foot version of death coming for him as he fell from a ladder. I know it sounds ridiculous, but stranger things have happened, I suppose.
The man stands, and you can see he's got curly blonde hair, and he turns to look at you. His left eye is blue, and his right eye is green as he's puffing away on this pipe. He's wearing a colorful robe, probably not so much different than the rainbow of colors on that bird that you carry with you. And that's like kind of draped over sort of formal attire that he's wearing. And he says, I can assure you that the bird keeper has nothing to be afraid of. He was merely a way of connecting the dots to bringing you here to speak with me.
And Tweety and Tweety's friends, were they dots in the puzzle too? All the birds that died?
It would seem that this is the way that death has arranged it for us to connect.
You want to buy a larakeet?
Maybe later. For now, let us speak of this matter at hand.
Yeah. How are we supposed to like balance the budget then? Are we supposed to like go kill some people?
Have you ever heard the story of the burned man?
Mm, I don't think so. Doesn't
Doesn't
sound
ring a bell.
familiar.
No, no, I've not heard that one. So to have a good punchline.
Well, fortunately for you, maybe, as this may be your ticket to continuing to walk this earth. Long time ago, many decades ago, a man named Selwinder looked for a way to avoid that inevitable conclusion that we all are walking towards. And he found it. He found a way to cheat death. But immortality is not something to be taken lightly, for the gods of necessity and death himself, well, when the laws of this world are defied, they take an immediate interest, and they will work tirelessly to try to right those unnatural things that should allow a man to live for as long as Selwinder has. But I have to give it to him, Selwinder has persisted and he still lives. Although I don't know if you can call what he does living. He now is isolated, almost like a hermit in his family home, just a block from Old Din Lane. In a mansion designed to protect him from anything that death would send his way.
Does he like laricates? Just trying to find a way to use this bird that we brought along with us.
Well, I sort of think that Selwinder likely delights in nothing after all of these years. Immortality is not as glamorous as the stories of your childhood might lead you to believe. To persist for so long is to suffer, and to become obsessed with immortality is, well, likely he has forgotten how to live. And so the delight like this little bird here, I am sure will bring him no solace.
Or, on the contrary, he'll realize what beauty there still is in this world and how much he has lost along the way, and willingly surrender whatever talisman has given him this gift of limitless life.
Well, and here I was thinking you were the smart one, Hobart.
It's worth a shot. I mean, I'm open for other ideas. This, open forum here. No bad ideas. Brainstorming.
See what sticks. Oh yeah.
Well, your Laura Keaton is a could be a fine addition to my collection. Since you have bothered to bring it here, I could take it off your hands for 50 gold rilks.
That seems. I think that seems fair. If I was thinking more like 60, but you've been very candid with us, and you welcomed us. You didn't have your goons beat us or anything. That can happen sometimes. So I think 50 is fair.
Can we get a peek at the ledger though? I kind of want to see what it looks like.
I do not physically have the ledger here. I have only seen it through my commune with the gods of necessity.
Oh.
Rest assured, your names were the very last in the ledger.
So the names in the ledger are the people that are supposed to die. Like they get added as they're supposed to die. Okay.
Those that death has left the Shadowlands in search of.
I've heard that sometimes scribes use sawdust to kind of fix their mistakes. Does death not have sawdust? I, maybe I'm missing something here, but if our lives were spared, then and death wants us to do something for him, what is in it for us?
I mean, life. Life is a pretty good trade there.
But we have
Yes.
it.
Well, do not think that it is mere chance that you have evaded these warnings. I believe it is death that has been trying to show you he could take life from you at any second with any number of random acts of...
So now he's blackmailing us. The bastard.
Essentially, yes. The gods are not above such tactics to get mortals to do their bidding.
Well, does this god have any tools for us to use to accomplish this daunting task he has set before us?
The gods don't, but I suppose I have something that could be helpful. He seems kind of annoyed or put off that you asked such a question, because you almost get the sense like he feels compelled to tell you about something that could be helpful and he doesn't really want to part with. So he starts like kind of grumbling a little. He's grousing a little bit as he goes to. There's like a iron-bound chest in the room, sort of near the fireplace, and he goes and he opens it up and starts digging around. And what he produces for you is a bone scroll. What looks like a bone scroll case that he hands to you, and he says, "Inside this, you will find a scroll that will direct you to perform a ritual that is called the Ritual of Kindness. Also inside the scroll case are the reagents that you would need to perform such a ritual. Though I suspect neither of you are natural spellcasters, it may be quite difficult." Although he looks at Villarry and he says, Perhaps you
Yeah,
could do it."
I've learned a few abilities over the years, and I can sometimes like read things from scrolls, and you know, maybe works a little bit. Sometimes.
Within the scroll case, you will find wood shavings that belonged at one time to Isek of the Jug, and a pearl from the Sea King's domain. You lay these wood shavings out in a circle. Place the pearl underneath your tongue and recite the ritual that is inscribed on the parchment. This ritual could be used to end the suffering of the burned man.
Well, how did he get the name the Burned Man? I guess I missed that part of the story. Like he was, is that Selwinder is the Burned Man?
His condition, the reason for his prolonged life, don't think that death hasn't tried to even the score before. His body has endured all sorts of trauma and torture.
Oh. And he lives in a house down the street there then.
That is what I believe. That's what my research tells me he is there.
Good wizard, have you any knowledge of how he gained his immortality? How did he cheat death in the first place?
Well, that part of the puzzle is not something that I have quite puzzled out for myself, but while you're in his home, perhaps there could be some tomes and something that you might be able to bring back for me. I'd very much be interested in the answer to that question.
Well, we'll see what we can do. I mean, technically we solved the mystery of the dead birds. It was just death.
Yeah.
I mean, death by death. It seems so obvious now, but sure. We'll see what we can find.
I mean, we kind of are on a roll. We solved the dead bird mystery. We came and talked to you and got to talk about the ledger and found out, what names were in there, what names were not. We already did 2 missions today. We're
And
on
you
a
got a
roll.
bird out of it, so I mean, it's win, win, win.
Well, I will hope, and I will be looking forward to your successful return with this mission complete, and maybe you'll have some more things to trade for those gold rilks that you so much lust after.
Yes. Well, we'll split the 50 for the bird, and we'll keep an eye out for mysterious items in this manner of which you speak. Sounds like a veritable treasure trove.
Can I ask about the items in the other room when we came in? Like, why is there like a snake that's like trapped in that glass sculpture?
Diller, it's rude to ask people about their art. It's very personal decision.
Oh,
I mean,
I'm sorry.
kind of
I'm a bit uncivilized.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I know.
Yeah. Haven't
It is
really learned the fine culture.
quite all right. The only way to learn is to ask these types of questions, and to yours, I would say that thing must remain inside that glass, lest it escape and burrow into your skin and lay its eggs and reproduce. At
Oh
full
yeah, we want
length,
that.
it can grow into a terrible serpent-toothed worm larger than this house.
Oh my goodness. I mean,
But it's kind
right
of
by the
fine to have it
aviary.
around, something so dangerous.
yeah, I probably would. I would have made the mistake of killing it. I just would have smushed it, and then it wouldn't have grown. And now you've got it in a little artsy thing. I guess I'm understanding art a little bit better now.
Yeah, it's like the where art and animal husbandry meet or something. There's people and their pets in this town. I guess maybe because I'm a hunter, I don't understand the appeal of such things. Other than a good hound. Yes. Well, let us away.
Okay, we'll see what we can get for you. Thanks so much for the gold, and you take care of Trixie there. Trixie was really excited about coming out.
I know that my little serpent-toothed worm will feed quite well tonight.
You gonna feed Trixie to the worm?
It was a joke.
Oh, I guess I don't understand humor very much either. Oh, I feel better now though. Ha ha ha, yeah, you're funny.
And
Quite.
so, with that, you take leave of the leather library and head to this home of the burned man, or this man named Winder. I think we could take maybe like a 5-minute break here, just to take a little bio break and whatnot. Thanks everyone that's coming and hanging out. It's Monday night. We're playing DCC Lankhmar Cheating Death. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back on. And we are back. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us here tonight. We're at our midpoint break, and we are playing DCC Lankhmar Cheating Death. Our characters Hobart the Hunter and Villarry Crook have discovered that they are marked by death, like the death, and are in his ledger, and are sort of death maybe was looking for them, but has decided that they might have a role to play in helping him to reclaim someone he wants more, someone that was supposed to die a long time ago, a man named Winder, who has learned a way to defy death, and should they be able to be successful in bringing him to death, and they may be able to absolve themselves, at least for until natural causes or some other catastrophe takes them. And so you have learned that Winder allegedly dwells in his old family home. And so you have made your way to where he um, lives. It From the outside, from the street view, it sort of has the appearance of a an old boarded up home. Like, you from the if you didn't know what this place was, you would have just thought this is an old abandoned home. It's probably rat infested and maybe has some um, um, just some drifters like hanging out in there, because all the windows are boarded up, and actually not even boarded up, like they are masonry, like masonry and bricks board, like filled up all of the every little enclosure that could be a portal in. The only entrance that you can see is the large oaken door that serves as the entrance to the place. um, Definitely a two-story, like full two stories, and then the top of the building kind of has like an almost like a little, maybe it looks like a small little attic or something. It kind of serves as a crown on top of this house that maybe is like a third floor extension. And so from the street, it is on a very quiet, uh, not at all busy street. Like, you're the only ones lingering here as you're looking up at this building. In fact, you probably get the sense that many of the other buildings here are abandoned as well. And so you are all by yourselves as you are looking for a possible way to get inside. The only obvious way would be the front entrance.
So I have a couple of ideas of how we may gain entry into this strange fortification of a home. One, we pretend we are presenting a gift to Salwinder. We show him the butler, whoever answers the door, the bone scroll case, and say we must deliver it in person. And maybe we say it's from Sidrulin or maybe even the Birdmaster. I don't care. But we gain entry that way. That's plan. That's plan one. Plan two would be we pretend we are missionaries, and trying to entice him to join our cult. And we say things like, has life lost its luster? Do you have you lost your purpose in this world? Well, join us so we can make up whatever deity we want. And maybe he would be interested in hearing us out if in fact his life is, this just shallow, miserable thing.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, the missionary approach seems really I think that sounds pretty cool.
And then we could always just say that, oh, we'd love to tell you more about it. Let us retire to your reading room, and that's when you take out the scroll for the ritual of kindness, and we pretend it's a scripture, and I get very pious, and bam, we got him.
Maybe we should have some like initial literature or something, don't they usually have something that has like a little picture and, you know, just something to kind of leave in the door if no one answers?
I have a grappling hook.
Oh, I don't think that'll work.
No,
Um,
no.
I've got other things, but yeah, I don't have any paper. I
I
mean,
mean, we don't want to leave anything behind anyway. I mean, we need to impress upon them, whoever answers, the importance of letting us in. But there is one perhaps small hiccup to all of this, Villarry, and that is, if if at all possible, I would like to learn the secret to immortality. Not for my own use, and not even for the wizard's use. You see, there is another task that I juggle multiple things. I'm a busy guy, and I have this thing I've been working on for a different client from back where I come from, and if I can kill two birds with one stone, um, that would really make my life a lot better. So that's another aim. If we can get him talking a little bit, learn about how he came to be in such a strange position, I think it would behoove behoove us. to do so.
Okay, you don't think that'll make Death like angry or something? Because we get rid of one immortal and now there's gonna be another immortal.
Well, this guy is somehow outfoxed Death. The person who I would trade this information for, I think Death could probably snuff them out like that. I'm not concerned. It's not someone I'm overly fond of anyway, so um,
Okay.
I
Or
I,
you
I
or you
kind of
could
feel
you could take the information and then just change it just a little bit so it doesn't work.
that's a possibility as well. Um, I'm not too delighted with the prospect of being blackmailed by Death. I feel like he could if he indeed could kill us with a cheese knife at any given time. You
It was
know,
a big cheese knife, though. You got to admit. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know what they were using that thing for with cheese anyway.
no, that looks like it came right from the butcher shop. I don't. It was a heavy-handed effort, for certain. So I would say, Death is like, "Oh, I spared you, even though you're supposed to die." Uh, those words ring a little hollow to me. I don't want to openly defy a god, but I have no problem, trying to, fleece a little bit from this situation that we find ourselves in.
Well, I'm helping Death because, Death's entitled to what Death is due. But yeah, sure, whatever. If you want to ask some
Yeah, I mean,
questions, I'll be fine with that.
the worst he can do is kill us, right? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah, I mean,
which
I
he
get.
tried to do once already and failed. So, eh.
So we knock on the door and just, talk like missionaries? Is that what's our God's name? Who are we
Hmm.
representing? How about Death backwards? Oh, if we just reverse the letters and make that our deity, I don't
I
think he'll ever
don't
get
know
it.
how you'd pronounce that.
Just put some
Yeah.
apostrophes in there, That's what they do to say the fancy.
Hmm. I was gonna go with Trixie because it was the first name that came to mind, but
Oh, Trixie
it
sounds like a
yeah,
prostitute,
it
not
it
a
sounds like a trick, so that's out. That's
Prostitute bird.
but I mean we could play on the bird theme, but what if our god is Larakit?
Oh,
And
that wouldn't be
it's
bad.
full of color, it's full of life, it's beauty in its simplicity. It's instead of always wanting more, like more days of your life per se. It's about being happy with what you have. you know Sort of, why does the cage bird sing, or all that.
I would go for that, sure. I mean, I think that you got the makings of a really good cult there, You just need um a few followers and we'll go,
Well,
yeah,
I've,
scripture of some sort.
I've got one follower with me today, so
I'll just
let's.
nod and be like, "Oh yeah, that's so profound." Do I call you reverend or brother or maybe brother?
Yeah,
Brother, that
yes.
works. It seems
I don't
like
want to seem too high up in the order, because then I'll be expected to answer all sorts of odd questions that may arise. So, yes,
okay,
I'll be brother Hobart, and you can be Sister Villarry. And again, let's not overcomplicate it. Our god is
okay,
Larakit, the colorful, and we'll see
okay.
where that gets us. And all we need to get is in the door. That's our first barrier.
All right, let's
See,
try it.
that's how these things start. And so you might find that you got something to this, and you might head on up to the street of the gods and start, proselytizing. And there's a lot of money in this whole god religion cult business. A lot of people have profited a lot in Lankhmar, and gotten probably way in over their heads.
I'll
So
look
you
really pious as I stand there, but I'll let you knock.
All right, and I kind of put my shield on the back of me, and kind of arrange my sword, so I don't look, so I look at least kind of composed but not menacing. And I knock on the front door.
you knock, and you can definitely kind of hear some movement on the other side, and give me Give me a intelligence check while you're knocking on the door. See if you can hear
dear.
what's
Okay.
being discussed.
That's
Okay.
about right.
You just kind of hear like kind of muffled noise on the other side, and eventually you hear a voice say, who's it? Who is it?"
It is I, Brother Hobart, and Villarry. May we have a moment of your time?
I don't think we're not supposed to get any deliveries here today.
We are here for something far better than any mundane delivery on this plane of existence, my friend. We are here to consult about where eternity may find us.
Eternity, huh?
Yeah. Have you ever seen the glory that is Our Lady Larakit? The colorful?
Oh, she's a female. I'm glad you said that. I wasn't sure.
A larakeet, isn't that a type of cat?
It is not. It is a type of goddess, the most divine goddess yet to be held in the pantheon of our world.
Um, okay, I'll listen. And give me a personality check as you begin to tell him about the laurels of Larry. Okay, so you're telling him about him, and he's like, I don't know, this all sounds great and all, but maybe I come back another time, or you got some literature or something, you slip under the
I
door.
told you we should have had literature.
So, while I am sure our goddess is very concerned with your soul and your blissful existence as well, we actually are here on a divine mission by Our Lady, and we've had dreams and visions, waking dreams, I suppose you would say, about someone who needs to hear this message above all others. It was something like Silwander or Selweener or something along those lines, and we were just driven to come here. And I get the impression that perhaps you are not the one we were meant to talk to.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm just supposed to guard the store here, and, maybe you want to talk to Jengus.
Who is Jangus?
He's the guy that pays me. He tells me to watch his door, make sure no one comes
Is he
through it.
inside your facilities there?
Yeah, he's upstairs.
Why don't you escort us to your boss? I would love to tell him about the glory of Lady Larakit as well, and get to the bottom of these visions we've been having.
Yeah, I don't know if that's such a good idea. I'm not really allowed up there. I really just supposed to be here guarding the store. That's what he pays me to do.
Then do not trouble yourself. You stay at your post. I would not want you to get in trouble. We will proceed without you, and speak to this Changus of which you speak.
Yeah, it's really the door though that I'm watching, and so.
Oh,
the
sure,
first
yes.
part-
Stay at the door. We will leave you to it. And I
Yeah,
kind
I
of
don't know
start
about
walking
that.
forward as though, of course, we're gonna walk in. Of course, we're
Oh,
walking.
well, he hasn't opened the door. He's just talking to you through the door. At this point.
Oh, okay.
So
I
he
try
hasn't
to
opened
open
it.
the door.
So it's
Not like that.
it's locked. And he says,
Oh.
"Hey, no! What are you doing?"
You have why have you locked us out, good sir?
Because I'm supposed to make sure that this door doesn't open unless it's for a delivery or something that we're expecting.
But
And
we speak for the goddess.
I'm not so sure I understand all this God stuff. It's a little over my head.
Well, you're
Then-
not seeing all the gestures and stuff that we're doing. There's all these hand motions and things.
Yes, you're being terribly rude, and I will suffer this insult, but Our Lady deserves much better than this, and frankly, you are being a bit rude.
So, Villarry, you could attempt a personality check to see if
Oh,
you would
okay.
succeed on it.
He's one of the civilized folks, though, so we'll see how well I
he
do with that.
Oh, is he
Well,
civilized?
the way they have it in
He's
they have it written.
yeah, he's definitely of the city, so
Yeah, it's like any type of urban, unfortunately. So I got, what is that? 11.
so I was thinking
Maybe
a DC
use
12 for this, so
leading luck on this one.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
and
have one more point to that. Can I do that? Add my fleeting
I can
luck?
use one of mine because I'm also trying to really get this guy to open the door. Why don't I use one of mine? Then we'll both have one.
Well, oh, you
yeah, I
mean-
think I might have
got
accidentally
it.
deleted yours. You only used one earlier, right?
Right.
Gotcha. But yeah, Hobart, you could use one if you just want to even out, and then you'd both still have one.
Too late. I rolled mine.
Okay.
You
So-
can use yours later.
Okay.
So you're
I'm up to 13.
able to clear that 12, and he says, all right, if this is just a religious thing, you just need to talk to us, I guess it'd be okay if I let you in here, but you can't leave this room, okay? And he opens up the door and sort of invites you inside. And he says, he's just kind of like, I've been kind of feeling like there's something missing in my life. So this could be good information for me, but yeah, we're just gonna have to hang tight in here. And you see, like inside the room, there are two other guards with him. The guy that you've been talking to, he has a longsword at his side, and he's wearing like a really thick hide armor, and he's got two guards with him. Both of them have halberds that they're holding, and they're both wearing leather armor.
Might one of you? I know this gentleman here must stay at the front door, but might one of you escort us to your leader, Cengiz? We have some information we wish to share and a question we wish to ask him.
Well, like, you want to see Cengiz, we're not supposed to let anybody come in and go see Cengiz. That's what he pays us for. You see?
How much does he pay you? Because the Our Lady of the Most Holy Feathers, she gives her people some money sometimes.
He is a generous
She's very
matron.
generous.
for
Yeah.
sure.
So maybe she wants to bless you as well today.
Say if you had maybe like a 25 gold blessing.
I think that might be doable. What do you say, Hobart? Is Our Lady feeling that generous today, Brother Hobart?
I believe Our Lady is feeling that generous, but because she has only bequeathed upon me 10 gold rilks this day, that is all I can spare. That is all we have with us. Would 10 gold rilks open your hearts to Our Lady's blessings?
You only got 10? You sure you don't have like maybe 20?
I'm afraid I did not think I would need to give money. Most people are all too eager to give to our cause, not take from it. But I this mission of hers is so important. I'm giving you my own money, 10 gold rilks, and I will fast for the remainder of the day.
So this bulky, balding man, who's got kind of this ill-fitting hide armor on, he's just like, okay, well, I think y'all can probably like skedaddle then. I've had all the religion I need for one day.
Oh, it's a miracle! I just found 10 more gold rilks in my backpack.
Oh, did ya? Oh, well.
praise
It's
be
a,
to
Praise
lady.
to the Holy Feathered Lady.
Praise
it's a
be the
parakeet
Lady
miracle. A lyric.
Oh, her generosity, her bounty is unfailing. Thank you, my lady. And I just fall on my knees and worship, and I give my 10 and I take it
Yeah.
Villarry is giving her 10 of her
Yep.
So they
25
collect
gold.
they collect your coins. Right now you're in that entranceway marked 5-1,
Okay.
and he says, okay, well, you want to go and see Genghis, and well, you got basically like two options there. You go through that door, and he points to the door, kind of in the corner of the room. There's like a wooden iron banded door there. You could take that and make your way around, or you could go through here, and he kind of goes to the right side of the room and knocks on the wall here, and you can hear it's kind of hollow. And he says, but a word of caution. Like I say, we never went upstairs, and part of the reason is a real scary woman in this next room. I think she's a worshiper of Mog, the Spider Queen. She can walk on walls, and she's the only one that goes through back and forth through this room.
Let us go the other way.
Yeah, what would be the advantage of going through that way where the Spider Woman is?
Well, so if you go through this room, there's a bunch of spikes on the floor, and not like a spike, trouble walking or whatever. Just big poles that stick up out of the ground, and I don't know exactly how these work, but they light on fire, and overhead there's a bridge, and that bridge connects with the other parts of the house, and that leads you up to the second floor. So this way could be a good way, but there's no direct stairway that goes up to that bridge. You'd have to climb, or if you were like her, she could climb on walls and do all sorts of crazy stuff like that. And looking at you, I don't think you can do that. So
I haven't been able to do that yet. No, that's
No,
really hard.
but perhaps Lady Larakit will grant us the miracle of flight in our time of need. I think maybe this is a test of our faith, whereas going the other way, we would encounter someone who is not inclined to our beliefs. She has found her own religion, as it may be.
well, if you go the other way, it'll lead you to a direct landing that'll get you to that crosswalk overhead.
Okay, so but when we're on the bridge, we probably need to be really careful not to fall off because, it sounds kind of dangerous, fiery, spiky things.
Yeah, you only see it from this passageway, but it does. Yeah, it looks like it's rather kind of treacherous, a little narrow.
I have faith in Our Lady. Sister, I pray you have faith as well. Come, let's away.
I'm not quite sure we're on the same page as far as which direction we're going to take here. What way are you thinking of taking there, Brother Hobart?
The way that the spider wench is not.
The door?
Yes, aren't there? There's like the hollow.
Yeah. So, just to be a little bit more direct about what they're communicating, basically, you're going to have to go through this same room where she is no matter what. It's
Right.
just, are you going to be on the ground level and have to, maybe you could grapple hook up, but you have to go through this where all these like pillars of this flame are. So that might be a little dangerous. Or you could go the long way around, which they don't really exactly know how that works either, but they know that the other rooms of the house connect up to a landing that would take you to the bridge that would bring you to the stairway that goes up to the proper second floor. So it's kind of a toss-up how you'd want to navigate that.
I mean, I've already been burned once today, and I don't know if I want to try my luck with the spiky, burny things. So maybe we should take the long way?
I agree. Let us away.
So they point you to this door, and they thank you again for the donation, and proving again that Loyalty can be bought and sold, kind of at depending on how big your pocketbook is. But you open up this door and it leads into a. You almost think you're looking at like a flooded room because there's at least like the floor of the room kind of dips down like a foot, or at least a foot, and through this waterlogged room there are a number of like small little like like little stone flagstones that rise up just like maybe like 6 inches above the water line that seem to create like a path through the room around to the other side over here, and above each of the flagstones from the ceiling there's like a rope that seems intentionally over one for each flagstone, almost like a kind of a handle of sorts to kind of steady yourself as you're crossing through the room. And the other thing of note that you see is like off in the corner over here there's like it looks like an old armoire that's sitting kind of half submerged in this water in the room. You can definitely see the wood on the bottom of it kind of warping, and it's definitely been sitting here for some time.
Is it closed or open?
The armoire is closed.
Okay.
There are some chandeliers that hang from the ceiling, and there are candles that are lit. There's a dim light in here.
But it appears as though the raised pedestals lead to another door.
That is kind of your from this perspective. You probably really can't see it, but that's your assumption that it leads you through the room into a way out.
Oh, I hate to say this, Hobart, but I'm pretty sure there's something not so good in this water.
What makes you say that?
Well, first of all, it's here, and that seems to be kind of weird. Why have a room with water in it, really? And secondly, I don't know, there's a path leading out of the water, so I'm just thinking we probably don't want to fall in there.
No, best case scenario, we get soaked, and that's not fun either. I want to pull on like the first rope to make sure it's actually secure. And
so you step out,
not like
kind of straddling maybe like the front landing and that first flagstone. You pull on that rope, and almost instantly, like it starts to coil like around your arm. It seems to be kind of like trying to pull you forward. Let's see. Give me a let's say it's a reflex save to see if you can kind of you're watching it as it's starting to try to coil around your arm. No, okay, it grabs hold of you and it yanks you forward. And you fall into it like intentionally like pulls you forward to deposit you into the water.
Oh, I was saying don't go in the water there, Hope. What are you doing?
Give me a D6. Roll me a D6 quick. Okay, 6. You fall forward into the water, and you're able to kind of the rope like lets go of you, and you manage to it's not that deep, the water, and you manage to stand up okay, but you feel something brush past your leg.
I immediately think of the like snake creature in the crystal maze that lays eggs, and I kind of do a very undignified.
Oh, I've got some rope of my own. Is he far? Would I be able to toss him some of my rope and help him get back on the landing there?
This happened like right at the entranceway, so I would say you're probably maybe 10 feet away from the entranceway.
So he could like just pull himself back up.
Yeah, like you're probably like the water doesn't even come up to your knees. It's that, it's maybe only like 2 feet at
Gotcha.
most. So you could just slosh your way back to the entranceway if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think that's what his instinct would be, is just getting out of there. So he'd scramble back to the entryway.
So you managed to do that. Whatever it was that brushed past your leg, you didn't. The water is very murky, so you didn't get eyes on it. You felt it. It didn't do anything to you. You managed to get back up onto kind of the landing right in front of the door, and the worst thing that happened was you're a little soaked.
Ah, I am soaked, and there is something in the water. It could have been an eel, a large fish, or something worse. But we are committed to this path, so perhaps we can just run across these pedestals without touching the ropes and quickly leave this strange, murky room.
I kind of want to know what's in that armoire over there.
I think that the risk outweighs the reward in this case.
But you don't know. I mean, what if there's something really cool in there? We could I could use the chandelier and just kind of swing over there. I have a grappling hook. It could be really fun, Hobart.
You have a grappling hook as well?
Yeah, they're
We-
good
we-
to have.
They are requisite for any true adventure.
I know, right? I mean, it was one of the first things I ever bought.
Great minds.
Yeah.
I will cover you from here. Unfortunately, I had to sell my longbow in order to get all the way to this city, so I've no ranged attack, but I will certainly watch your back if you wish to swing over there.
How far away? Like, what's the distance? With
Yeah. It is. We'll say it's like 20 feet away.
Okay. Well, you wanna like hold on, like if I tie my rope around my waist and you hold on to the end, so if I really biff it one, you can just pull me back.
Agreed.
I'm gonna attempt to do something fancy here. I'd like to I probably would have to jump on the flake staff to get, I don't know, close enough to use my grappling hook to hook the chandelier. I'm trying to envision what it might look like, but my idea is to, like, if I could hook the chandelier and swing over, kind of hang there.
Sure. So I think you can probably, just like step like 1 foot forward, enough that you're in the room, kind of steady yourself and be able to like, shoot your grappling hook up there. So I think the first thing we'll call for will be, let's just have like a agility check. It's like basically like a ranged attack. You're trying to hit and grab hold of that chandelier.
Okay, let's see how I do. Oh, that'd be a 10.
So with a 10, you manage to hook it like onto the chandelier. You're kind of pulling the chandelier maybe to like kind of test, can this thing even support your weight? It feels like it's maybe a little precarious, like you're just not sure. Like it feels like it's not really designed for this, but there might be a chance. Basically, it would be a luck roll if you swing across to see if it breaks or not.
And with a luck roll, I have to roll under my luck.
Under your luck, yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I want to test my luck today, Brother Hobart. I'm not feeling overly lucky, and this just doesn't feel very secure to me. I don't know. You got a good grip on that rope if I fall?
I certainly do, and I am feeling lucky.
Maybe I want to give it a try just to see. I've already, invested in this idea. So
if I've got it correctly, Villarry has hooked the grappling hook up. Villary's holding on kind of in the middle of the rope, and the end of the rope is being held by Hobart.
yeah, I guess when I bought the grappling hook, I didn't know if it came with rope of its own, but I also bought rope, like
Yeah, so
50
you get
feet
like
of rope.
50 feet. So there's
Yeah.
like kind of like a safety mechanism of if you fell into the water, Hobart would be like trying to reel you in,
Yeah,
essentially.
basically. That's
Okay.
kind of what I'm going for. I don't
Okay.
know the physics of that, but you know.
Go ahead and roll that luck check. See if you can roll under. And
Yes.
you manage to do it.
Nice.
So you kind of swing, and you Hobart, you've got the end. So at some point, it kind of gets like kind of taut. But Villarry, you swing on over there. You're able to like kind of grab onto this rotted old armoire. And the bottom of it kind of buckles just a little bit as you grab hold of it, but you manage to grab hold of it and you're on it. You still secured by your rope. And what you're realizing about it now that you're over here is that it seems like it's you I don't know, you open up like one of the doors to kind of peek inside. Inside the arm, it's not exactly an armoire, or at least that's not what you're thinking now that you're over here, because it seems to have some cable that it is attached to it. And it almost, give me an intelligence check real quick.
All right. 14.
This appears like it might be some kind of like a dumbwaiter system.
Oh. Hey, Hobart, there's something going on here. There's like some you know what we were suggesting they should build over in the aviary before? I think they got one here.
Are the cables intact enough where we'd be able to climb up?
You
Let me
think
take a
so?
look.
Yeah, based on your intelligence check,
Okay.
you're checking out. There's it's like a pulley system, so you're checking it out. It seems pretty good. You're looking up at the ceiling, and you can kind of see that there must be like a trap door that's like activated up there when you pull this. If you pull this thing up enough, it activates a trap door that would allow it to move up into the ceiling.
Ooh, yeah, I think it might still work. This might be a faster way than going over that bridge of fire and death.
Well, let me. Maybe I should use my grappling hook and join you, or you maybe you release the rope and I just use yours. However you want to do this.
Yeah, I think let's see, whatever makes the most sense in a physical science kind of way.
I think if you just like kind of throw the rope back, then I can use it to swing
Okay.
over. I won't have you to kind of anchor me, but my luck is pretty high. So if it's the same roll, I'm pretty confident I can get over there.
Okay, well, do your best, buddy.
So go ahead and give it a luck roll.
Oop.
Oh.
My luck
So-
is 18.
Oh, is it? You really
is it?
are lucky.
All right. I was ready to narrate your doom, but you made it over there. And so you're both on this dumbwaiter. With it's not really designed maybe for two people, but this is what you'd have to do probably to make this work based on your system that you had. So I'm going to say a strength check is necessary to adequately move this thing all the way up, because it only works on pure strength.
9.
Do you got some luck you can burn over there, Hobart, to see if
Sure.
maybe you can get a little stronger if you really focus?
And is it a D6 for fleeting luck?
Fleeting luck for you is just 1. For Robin's character is a thief and has the D3 thing. So I was thinking a 12 for this.
Uh-oh.
So even if I burn my 2 fleeting, that would only put me at 10. But I could burn some permanent luck. That's going to reduce some stats. What the heck? I'll use both of my fleeting lucks and two permanent
If it
lucks.
makes
All
you
right.
feel any better, you're still more than twice as lucky as I am.
So, with that, you manage to use this chute that does indeed open up as you clear the ceiling, and then you make it into this next area. As you are coming up through the ceiling and into the second floor, you're able to see that this chamber is odd. There are a number of these what appear to be almost like these weird like cairns of rock that have just been piled up almost like in pyramid shapes around the room of this flagstone chamber. You can see they all, it's like a Jenga kind of thing. They almost seem like they're all very, very precisely situated, that they're, one little tremor, one little move, then these whole things would like collapse over. Like whoever like stacked these up like did it just perfectly so that they're balancing perfectly with the rocks underneath them. In the southwest, or in the other end of the room here, you can see there's a wooden framework that kind of creates some archways that seem to lead further into the second floor.
Don't touch anything.
Okay, but if you do need to touch something, I have a 10-foot pole here, so you can touch things from a distance.
Where were you keeping that?
It's a collapsible pole. I stick it in my
Oh.
backpack.
Very, very handy. Well, I think maybe we should just try to sneak through these strange, again, no accounting for taste with art. Let us not knock any of them over as we traverse this room.
Okay, then.
So Hobart's going to try to get to that door without knocking any of these over.
As you step out onto the flagstone, you feel as if the whole like floor kind of moves, almost like one of those labyrinth games where it like the floor is starting to shift.
I hate that game.
And you feel it almost immediately, and there's a chance here that you could course correct and like bring some balance to avoid any of these stone piles from falling over. Give me an agility check if you'd like to try to do that.
That's a 15.
15. Okay, you manage to kind of throw your weight real quickly to course correct and keep the floor balanced.
Reflexes like a cat.
Uh-oh. We're gonna have to really plan this one out, I think, Hobart. Maybe, walk on opposite sides of the room or something?
What about using grappling hooks? Is there anything where we could latch onto across the room and try to swing across?
Nothing like that on the ceiling in this room. Nothing that you could directly affix a grappling hook to.
Yes, we may have to. I can't decide if it would be better for one person to go at a time and try to keep to the center, or if we'd be better off going simultaneously, both opposite ways, and then meeting at the end. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, and we're not exactly the same weight, so that could be problematic as we're walking there. Well, you have more experience than I. How does it feel? Does it feel like, I mean, we could do like what they do on a teeter-totter. I could be like further out and you could be closer to the center. Is it on a central pivot or what?
Would I have gotten a sense of that?
You don't think it's like it's not like on a central pivot. It's like there's sections of the floor
Oh
that are
no.
kind of tied to each stone pile, perhaps. So at least that's your sense, because you're feeling like the pivot point is probably like actually right underneath your feet, and you're not in the center of the room. So your guess is that the strategy of trying to balance the entire floor won't save you. You'll probably have to individually do that balancing act as you cross.
But I would get the sense that as long as one moves very slowly and nimbly, one could cross this room without overturning.
Yeah. And in fact, I think now that you kind of know that, now that you have the awareness of this, I would allow you could do this agility check to cross the room at a +1 on the dice chain, so you could do a D24.
I think we just have to go single file, one at a time to get through this room. I think any other variables will just cause our doom.
Well, I'll watch you very closely and see if I can copy what you do. You go first.
So
All right.
you sense that you probably have to do this balancing act 2 more times to get to those archways.
So I can the next highest one I have available is a D22 in fantasy grounds.
I wouldn't D22. I think it's a D24 on the official dice chain. So go. You can go with a D24 if you can find it. Let me see if I can. It's probably on the D12.
Okay.
No?
Let me try that.
I don't see it. Where
I could do a
are you?
D20 and a D.
You want a D24? Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I think it is on the D12. It's
Ah,
because I just rolled one. Sorry.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yep, it's on the D12.
okay. Hold on. Ugh, every time I try to.
But you rolled, was that D20 that you rolled the 14? What you got for this check?
The last check I did was the reflex.
That was on the
see
previous
the-
one.
Yeah, I haven't rolled yet.
Okay, got it.
So D24. That doesn't look like a D24. Oh, I guess it was.
It just it looks like a D12 when you roll it, but then it
Okay.
does the math.
So,
So
you
and you said
make
this
it
was agility.
agility, yeah. So with a 17, that's more than
Plus
enough. You
one,
get to you make
18,
it to the next tile, and if you can clear one more, you'll be safe and on the other side of those archways. And you clear it, and you've made it to the other side.
Just take it nice and slow.
Okay.
Or
I-
do you want? I'm not sure what will happen, but if you still have that rope tied around your waist, if you want to just kind of throw the rope over to me, at least if you fall, I can maybe.
Well,
catch
here's
you.
what I'm thinking. Yeah, I mean, I'll try to take it nice and slow, but if I tie it around my waist and throw you the end, if something really bad happens, then I just try to run and you pull. All right.
Okay.
So we'll start nice and careful, but if I mess it up, then we have a backup plan.
Sounds good. I'm kind of holding the rope, just waiting to pull and run if it looks dire.
All right. So you want me to do an agility?
Yep.
All right. Oh, I think it's really
Ooh.
bad.
So, you step out. Yeah, no, you probably don't want to spend the amount of luck that you'd have to.
Oh, I
make
don't
that
think I
happen.
have that much luck.
Yeah. So you step out, and maybe he just made it look so easy that you got a little overconfident. But you step, and like the panel just does a 45-degree angle, and you feel this tremor. Kind of in your little enclave of the room, almost like a thunderclap right there, as everything shakes and all of those rocks kind of fall down, and you fall prone as this happens. and the rocks, it's almost like this popcorn effect of the cairn, the rocks from the cairn kind of like flying up in like a very controlled like little spot, but it's the spot where you're at, and they're kind of bludgeoning you a bit. And you end up taking, I feel like I haven't, this is my first dice roll.
Yeah, it's a lot of us, not so much you.
1 point of damage.
Ouch! Oh my goodness. First I get burned.
And I would have been, the minute that happened, I would have been like pulling her. So hopefully I didn't pull her into another.
So you're pulling, so this, as you're being pulled, another one of the cairns kind of pops, and you take another 2 points of damage as more of these things are being falling down upon you, and still pulling. There's like one more to clear.
I think I probably would have like seen that happening, and I don't even know if I'm facing her anymore because I'm just pulling with all my might. So I think, in all likelihood,
And you
I would have
pop
probably
one
pulled her
more, 3 more points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh boy,
as you
oh
just
boy.
get pulled. And when you look back, you can see that there's just like these skeletons that are standing upright where those cairns kind of popped out. They're inert, they're not moving, but they're the thing that apparently these rocks have been covering, and they're just standing there, seemingly all kind of looking out into your direction on the other side of these archways that you just crossed over under.
So that plan didn't really go as well as it could have. I'm really hurting right now. I got a lot of I'm all bruised and everything.
You're having a rough day. I feel for you. Not everyone can have cat-like reflexes.
Yeah, normally I'm much better. I don't know what happened. Maybe I just psyched myself up a little bit too much there, and I got kind of nervous.
Well,
Thank you, Isaac, for the cheer. Hello.
Oh. Hi. So I got some wine here. Is this a place where I could like take a little breather and drink a little wine?
Yeah. So let's see. You get your 1d6. You'll get your level.
Okay.
I think we determined you didn't have the other modifiers, but then you get a +1 from the wine.
Okay. So I roll a d6 and then I get basically +2, one
Plus
for the
2
level,
on top
one
of
for
that?
the wine. All right. Okay, well that's better than where I was. That'll be a 4, so I'm up to 7 now. Okay.
that's where I've been the whole time. It's a fun place to be.
Okay. All right. That hits the spot there. Thanks for waiting. I don't know. All right. On to the next one.
So what you can see now that you've cleared that, basically you can see that there is, let's start with what you see on the opposite end. You can see there's this room that seems like the entire floor is covered in like hay and straw. But through there, when you peek through there, you can see that there is a stairway that leads down. And that probably, based on your conversation with the guard earlier, leads down to the room with the spider worshipping sorceress that he seemed concerned about.
Yeah, we don't want to go down. Let's find
Well,
another route.
I don't know if there's another route. I mean, maybe underneath all that hay.
There seem to be, where it's listed A, B, and C, there are kind of very small looking little like sliding doors that look like they might be maybe closets or something of that nature. They're all closed currently, so you're not exactly sure unless you were to open them. But then on the opposite side of the room right here, you can see a pair of double doors.
Those doors look important. Do we want to see what's in these closets first? Could be something of benefit. Could be a trap.
could be both, you know? Sometimes there's a trap and then something good on the other side.
Too true.
Yeah, I can look and see if I sense anything trappy. Sometimes I can find stuff like that.
Have at it. I kind of take a
Go-
big step back.
Let's see. I'm forgetting about like all the things you have as a thief. Is find traps or
Yeah,
locate?
find
Is that
trap
one of them? Okay.
is one of them. Yep.
So
And
we'll
disable trap is a separate one.
okay. We'll call it a DC 10 on this.
All right. I just wanted to double check and see what finding trap is based on. I think it's based on intelligence.
I think intelligence.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Give me just 20 seconds. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, I mean, the good news is it's not a negative modifier.
What is your intelligence?
It's 10.
Oh, mine's 9.
Oh.
Because I swapped it with my agility. Otherwise, my AC would be 11.
Oh, yeah. All right. So here's my 5. I have a +1, not with intelligence, but to my ability to find traps. So that's a 6 total.
So, no, you don't find any traps.
I think it looks really clean here. Not sensing any traps. I can try to open the first closet and see what happens. Maybe there's something inside.
Do it.
Door, or is it?
Yeah, it's like a little sliding door.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what happens.
So you slide it open and you find traps. Like you literally find bear traps and
Oh.
such that are kind of hanging and sitting on shelves.
Oh, guess what,
And-
Hobart? I found some traps.
I am proficient with such things. How many bear traps are there?
There are a number of them are kind of in disarray, but you can see there are 3 that look like they're maybe in working order.
I would like to take those bear traps.
Okay. They are large, and so they'd be a little bit cumbersome probably to carry around more than one.
I will take one bear trap.
But like, yeah, with one, you could probably find a way to kind of strap that to your back or your pack or whatever. It may make like if you get into like a sneaky kind of situation, having that on your person will be a little. We'll say maybe it will be like a minus die in the dice chain to stealth, but could be useful.
Then I take a big step. What's behind door number 2?
Oh, yeah. I can look at number B or letter B. Number 2.
So we'll say that your find traps check kind of applies to all of them.
I was looking at the whole picture there. Yeah.
So you slide the second door open, and what you can see in here are sort of some mundane supplies like piles of blankets, maybe a lantern, a few flasks of oil. We'll say
Oh,
two
I've got
two
some of
flasks of
those.
oil, and a coil of rope, 50 feet of rope.
So, Hobart, I've already got some rope and oil here. Don't have a lantern, but it doesn't seem like you have a lot of stuff. So,
No, I just brought the grappling hook. Does Alex? Does the grappling hook even come with rope, or do I just have a grappling hook with
You
no
just
rope?
have a grappling hook. Yeah.
I would love
Now
some
you got rope.
I know I didn't think of it until we were literally using our stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, it just says grappling hook, so it's that's funny.
Would I be able to take the? I don't have a lantern or oil either. Would I be able to take those?
Yeah. Yep. What did I say? 1 lantern and 2 flasks of oil.
Hmm. I've got some flint and steel, so I think we have the ability. Oh, you know what we could do there, Hobart? We could burn all that straw in the other room and see if there's anything under there. Maybe there's like a needle in a haystack, and if we burn off the haystack, we'll find the needles.
Yes, but it may also draw out Spider Lady. I'm not
Oh
sure I
no.
want to face her. Best case scenario, we lose more gold bribing her, and I'd much not rather not dip into our profits here.
But she'd have to come up from a room on fire, you know?
Yeah, but who knows how long it'll burn?
Oh, you're
Plus
no
that.
fun, Hobart.
Do you want to get hit by more traps?
No, I don't want. I know. It seems like it always happens that way. My ideas get me into trouble. All right. I'll just try this door number 3 then and see if there's anything fun here.
Take another step back.
This one seems to have a bunch of more like weaponry and such. 2 daggers, 3 short swords, 2 spears, and a metal breastplate and 2 wooden shields. So I'm imagining, Hobart, you might be interested in that breastplate. It sets your
Yeah.
AC at 15.
Yeah, I would
And then-
love the breastplate.
And then with your shield, that would put it at 16. Do you have an agility modifier?
I have a +1 agility.
Okay, wow. Okay, this is going to be a big upgrade for you then. I just need to double check on the breastplate to see if there's any like limitation on getting that agility modifier, but I don't think so.
Might pick up the other daggers there. Sometimes I like to throw them like a cheese knife.
Good idea.
All right, let's see. Breastplate. Yeah, I think you'd still get that modifier, so we'll say at least yes for now.
So how much is the breastplate adding? Because I was at 13 before, and that included my shield. Is the breastplate plus?
Breastplate will set your AC at 15. Then
Oh,
you'll get the
I see.
+1 from the shield, and then you'll get
Gotcha.
a +1 also from agility to bring you to 17, I think.
Wow, that's quite a leap.
You
Good
look
find there.
so much stronger now.
Yes, I'm feeling much more confident moving forward now.
So can we burn the hay now?
No.
Oh, okay.
Look at this door. It's so important. I think we need to proceed through it.
Okay. Do you want me to open it or should I check and see? Does it
Oh,
have
yes.
like does it have like
That's-
any words or anything on it? Is it
No.
a stone door or I'm
these
trying
are
to tell
stu-
from the picture.
Yeah, these are 2 stone doors,
Okay.
and they have kind of both of them have a silver kind of lever handle.
I'll let you do your thing. I take a big step back as she checks for traps.
All right, I'm going to take my little 10-foot pole there and kind of poke around it and just make sure that it's not going to do anything to us. Maybe try to lift the levers with the pole.
Okay. You definitely like poke around with your 10-foot pole around like the framing and maybe along the base of the door. Nothing triggers. In terms of poking at the handle, nothing happens as you do so, but you're probably going to need a little bit more like direct leverage to be able to push it open and such.
Okay, so far so good, Hobart. As I get closer, like, can I see if there's specifically traps on this door, or is this kind of in the general trap roll I did before?
You could do another trap check on this one.
Okay, let's see if I can take a closer look here. Oh, that's 11.
Nothing that you see seems to indicate a trap on these.
Okay, well, let's see if it's unlocked. Watch there
They
be
are-
the key in the other room.
They are open, and you push them open, and they reveal what appears to be living quarters of someone who has been here for a long time. You can see partially empty shelves that line the walls of the chamber with jars of dried food and cheaply bound books. An iron-framed spiral staircase ascends towards the center of the room, and the air smells very stale here. It's also colder than you've felt in other parts of the house. You can see that there's a hunched old man that is sitting on a ragged bed at the opposite end of the chamber. And he looks up at you all and he says, "Well, what do we have here?" And you're looking at him. He's just like a hunchback. He's got kind of like a big kind of lump on the right hand side of his shoulder. Worn robe. He's kind of wearing this woolen, like, stocking cap. And he's kind of got like a wreath of white hair around his balding. You can tell like his front of his scalp is kind of balding. And he's just looking at you with like really weary eyes.
So he looks like an ancient, never dying kind of guy. We wouldn't mistake him for leader of guards downstairs.
He's definitely not armed. He's like in a gown. He's in a bed.
Okay. Greetings. We are here at the behest of our goddess, Lady Larakit, to spread the good word about her blessings on in this world and the next.
Larakit, you say? Well, I don't get out much. I haven't heard of that one yet. But gods come and go, and yeah, I'm just not with the times, I guess. So,
well,
Larakit, tell me more about this Larakit.
Oh, she is a goddess of just incredible insights, and we are trying to convert the masses so they realize that the true beauty of life is in the small things, like the colorful feathers of the Larakit that is named after her. That is her
god.
holy symbol.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
And we have, Sister Villarry and I have had visions of a man matching your description, and Lady Larakit wants us to share her blessings with you. So, it seemed as though perhaps you are someone who needs riches in life, not any material wealth, but just that lust for life, the beauty that maybe has eluded you for some time.
Does he look burned to you?
You don't see any like visible burn marks or anything like that. More like the visage of like a shut-in old man, that like a bedridden kind of old man. He grabs a cane and he, with some effort, kind of lifts himself up and he says, "Well, Larakit, missionary work. I have to say this place is pretty well guarded. You're going through a lot of trouble to come and tell me this message.
Sometimes
wouldn't you think you'd be
our
more
faith must
successful?"
be tested. And we saw this as a challenge, and we would not back down. We would do whatever it takes if it could bring one more soul happiness on this plane and the next. But we seek the name that appeared to us in these waking dreams was Salwinder. Is that you, good sir?
At your service.
Then we have come to the right place. Praise be to Larakit. Would you like to hear from her holy scriptures?
I've got the time. He sits back down on the bed.
All right. Well, I think before we reveal these wonderful secrets of Our Lady, which I am just so excited to do, there was something else in these visions.
There's the sacred song. We have to sing the sacred song and sprinkle the sacred.
Right, but I think is there anything that you feel you must divulge of any past deeds that maybe is hampering you from reaching your happiness? I, we our faith teaches that confession is good and unburdening your soul. Is there anything that is preventing you from finding your happiness, Master Selwinder?
Yeah, you want to be able to fly like the larakeet, your soul to float up into the air.
Yes,
Oh,
light as a feather, as they say.
you know, wide open spaces, the air, limitless freedom. That is the thing of younger men than I. I'm here to take comfort in living my life. I tend to my books. I get readings from my servants who bring me things. I am just here to take in and absorb all of the wisdom of learned men and women that put their words down in ink in tomes.
If
That
you
is what
don't
brings
mind,
me comfort and happiness.
if you don't mind my asking, how old are you?
I was going to ask the same thing, but I'm kind of uncivilized. I thought that would be rude.
In
I,
other circumstances, yes, but we must learn more about this acolyte to the faith, this potential brother in our flock.
if you are looking for an accurate accounting of how many seasons I've lived on this earth, I am afraid I cannot say. Time is not something that eludes me. I haven't been tracking it all so well, but um, many decades, many seasons have I lived this earth, and many more I hope to continue to do so.
How come
That
you like stay in this room? I mean, there's so much to explore and learn, and you're just kind of locked up in here.
I don't even see any plants. At least have some plants in here.
Oh, I have some. There's some greenery down on the first floor that occasionally I stroll through and attend to, but it does not bother me. This is how I choose to live my life, and I am safe here, protected by these walls, protected by my attendants. It is a good life.
But it could be better. What is it that you want out of life? Is this existence of yours rich? Is it as pleasing as it was, say, 50 years ago?
Well, every year has its ups and downs, and there are good times and bad, but we weather those times and make it out on the other side wiser, having learned from adversity, from the struggles, and take joy in the years that bring us happiness and bring us good fortune.
So
Do
as
I
he's
believe
talking,
him?
oh, I'm sorry.
Just gonna say, does he seem genuine or is he equivocating? What?
Um, Well, I don't know. You're not having a direct conversation about anything too much. Just like the what do you enjoy in life? And he's referencing. He's pointing out his books on his bookshelves, and he does seem like he's talking as a kind of shut in old man that has no need of going out into Lankhmar and things like that. But you can take a personality check as he's talking.
I'm just trying to see if he's like, is he what he seems to be? Well, that's not gonna help much. That's a 5.
He seems like he's answering your questions in sort of a way that you'd expect Selwinder to. I mean, what little you know about him, like all you were expecting really to find was, someone who has locked themselves away for a long, long time. But then Villarry brings up the point of why is he called the Burned Man? You were led to believe he'd be horribly disfigured and scarred and such, and this guy just looks old.
I don't know, Hobart. I kind of want to get some answers.
Yes, I agree. a burn victim or something was also part of this vision, and maybe we went to the wrong place after all. Maybe he is not the one that Our Lady of Feathers is wanting us to reach out to. I'm so perplexed.
You've never been called like the Burn Man or anything, have you?
I haven't. Not directly to my face. Certainly there are those that call me that.
Why would they
Why do
call
you
you
bring
that?
up-
You don't. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Why do you bring up this name?
Our visions. I thought somehow a burned man was in connection with the name Cellwinder, but maybe it is, maybe you and maybe the bird, maybe I we're just trying to make sense. Sometimes the gods speak in riddles, and maybe it's a figurative burned man. Maybe you've been burned by life.
Or maybe you've burned somebody else. Is there somebody in town that you might have pissed off or something?
Riddles. I think it is the two of you that speak in riddles. You mentioned the burned man. I know who you are. You're here to kill me.
What? That is
Well,
untrue.
we're
Look,
sup-
we're missionaries here. Why don't you take out the scroll? We we only come to make your life better.
I don't know, Hobart. I'm having second feelings about this because this guy doesn't seem like the bad one that, you know, I I guess the guy that keeps the worm in the glass sculpture is a little creepier to me than this old man here right now.
It is true he did not want to hear about our goddess either, but I don't want to cast aspersions at anyone who could potentially join the flock.
You're sticking to the story there, huh, Hobart? Okay then.
Well,
Villary's
what's-
gonna level with them just a little bit more. And what was the name of the dude? It was Sildraloon or Sildraloon or I wrote it down.
Yeah,
but I can't remember.
Sildrelon.
Sildral, yeah. Um, I'll just mention his name and be like, is there something at all that, you guys, any rivalry there? Anything that, he might wish harm on you or something?
I do not know of this man that you speak of.
Hmm.
why would anyone want to harm you? You seem like a harmless recluse.
Well, many have come here before looking to kill me. Why should this be any different? You say Sidrulon sent you. I have heard other names. It all boils down to the same thing. You all work for the same patron. You all
is
work
that?
for death.
Death.
Yeah, I mean, basically, death is blackmailing us. I mean, it's
What?
like,
What are you talking about, sister? Villarry, you do not serve the great feathered one.
you know what? He already knows the truth here. Let's like just level with the guy and see what's going on. So, like, apparently, Death is really upset because you found a way to circumvent it, and now he's like sending people to you. And we were told, he's been trying to taunt us all day, and if we don't do this, and it doesn't sound that bad, really. I mean, it's a ritual of kindness. I mean, so maybe it really isn't such a bad thing after all. And then Death will get off our backs.
A ritual, you say? You have no need of that. Save
Well,
that.
I mean, there's a nice pearl here and some
If you were
sawdust.
really here to kill me, I will not protest. You seem like good people, and you say that you are. You say that death has you, blackmailing you. I have lived a long, long time, and far more than 10 mortals could ever enjoy. I have taken far more from life than I deserve. If it will free you from this bounty that death has over you, then so be it. And with that, he like kind of lifts himself up by his cane and kind of hobbles over towards you. And at some point he drops the cane and just outstretched arms. He's like, "Finish it."
I think we should do the ritual. I think that it's kind. I don't want to plunge a blade through you. And secretly, Hobart is thinking this might be a trap, and if I kill him, he turns into something worse. So he wants to. He really thinks maybe the ritual is the way to go. Let us do the ritual of kindness.
And maybe it'll go really quick, just like
that way. Death is
like the birds.
happy. We feel like we've accomplished something today. We're not bloodthirsty people. We do believe that life has value and that it is to be enjoyed. Why not have your last experience on this plane be a ritual of kindness instead of a cold steel through your chest?
You know how to perform the ritual? You were trained in this?
Trained is kind of a strong word. I was kind of told you have to make a circle with the sawdust and then put the pearl under your tongue and then read off the scroll. Unless you think that's a trap. I mean, could that be? You've read a lot. Does this scroll look like a kindness ritual or does it look like something else?
You pull it out and he takes a look at it and he says, "It looks to be authentic. So be it. If this is the way that you wish to dispense with this, I will not. I will not protest."
You're being really cooperative and everything. Hey, what's under all the hay in the other room? Is there something hiding under there, or?
You managed to get up here without getting through there, huh? There are traps there designed to keep folk like you out. I think you have found one. He points at the bear trap that Hobart has.
Oh, that makes sense. All right. Any last words that you want to make sure that we record, and wisdom that you want to share to the world before we do this?
Please, when you go forth, let dispel with these rumors of me and of my selfishness. Don't. When you hear people speak of the name Cellwinder, let them know that I just wanted to experience life to its fullest. I wasn't trying to cheat anyone. I wasn't trying to harm anyone.
And as part of this cautionary tale, can you impart upon us how you managed to defraud death? I think that is an important lesson that goes hand in hand with this. We wouldn't want this, information getting out there. And if we can kind of explain to people how you did it, or at least maybe twist it so they could never figure it out.
He kind of looks at you and he smiles and he says, "If this is knowledge that you truly wish to possess, you'll find it all there in my collections. Take what you will. I have no need of these books now."
All right, on with the ritual.
Well, don't sound so happy about it there, Hobart. I think we should, maybe sing the guy a nice song, or I wish I wouldn't have used up all the wine. I could have given you a little bit there, but we'll make you comfortable.
Like a Band-Aid, Villery. Like a Band-Aid. Just
put the blanket.
The longer you draw it out, the worse it is. Let's have some solemn. I just bow my head in full band. Just some solemn silence as you perform the ritual.
Okay, and I'll awkwardly try to hurry, sprinkle in a circle, and stick the pearl in my mouth, and read off the
So the difficult thing here is as a thief, you are able to read scrolls. You just do so at a sort of reduced die. I think you have a D10.
It's a D10, yeah.
So it would be a D10. It would be modified by your level.
Okay.
And your intelligence modifier if you had one. And then, you can burn luck on top of that. I'm just trying to flip through to see what DC you need to hit to make it succeed. Where is that? It's probably back when you got the scroll. I want to say it's something like... requires a spell check result of 18 or higher.
So I'm gonna do it anyway because Villarry doesn't know, but there's no way I can actually accomplish that because, unless I don't know. When I burn my own luck, do I get to roll a d3 for that too? Oh, well
Yeah.
then maybe I can. Maybe I can. Okay, we're starting with a 6 there, and then I get to roll a d3. I'll burn as much luck as.
So, how much luck do you
can.
have?
So I have 7 points of luck. And
So, here's the thing. If you burn down lower than 3, like, all that stuff was happening with death, like, ladders are falling on you and stuff. Like, that stuff starts happening to you if you go below a 3.
Uh-oh.
So...
Well, you know what? Maybe I'll roll really well on all my D3s here.
Could be.
+1 for your level, so you're at 7 right now.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I'm at 7 right now. Okay, so
it's just up to you whether it's worth pushing it or not.
Oh, sure. So 7,
Hey!
8.
And you can do this one by one, so if at some point you're like, I don't think I'm getting there, you can bow out and like...
Okay.
I mean, it's sunk cost at that point, but you know what I mean?
9. I'm sorry. I wish there was a way I could keep it on a D3, because then I feel like every time I have to do about 3 clicks. Ooh, 10, 11, 12. I need a couple more lucky. Oh no. Okay. It's weird because it'll come up one thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so up to 15. And I have 3 points left. I'm gonna do it. Oh, all right. So that's 16. 17, 18. I have 1 point of luck left.
So he, as you're doing the ritual, you're casting this. He drops to the ground. And just like kind of collapses.
Oh, is he still breathing there, Hobart?
I'll check his vitals, and I also ruffle through if there's any pockets in his night clothes.
Make an intelligence check.
Okay. That would just be straight 16.
So he's not exactly breathing, but you're catching some signs of vitals. Like he's definitely faking that he's dead.
I think we succeeded. I just have this like wide open look, like I'm just like mouthing. He's still alive.
He's wearing like a nightgown, so he doesn't have any coins on him currently.
Yeah. Okay.
You might be able to rifle through the room and find something, but
I think I would say it's kind of seeing the sweat dripping down the now almost luckless partner. Hobart's gonna just kind of say, "I'm gonna check," and then I just want to like slit his throat. Just finish the job.
You do so. He's prone on the ground. You got him in a coup de grace spot, so you slit his throat. And he's like, and all of a sudden, like his eyes pop open. He's like gurgling.
I'm sorry, but the kindness didn't work, and I don't trust this bastard. Something is off here, and at least this is one less variable. This guy faking his own death.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's unsavory work, but it's what death demands of us. So now is he dead? Now I check his vitals.
Yeah, he's super dead. And you've got some audience members here that have played through the adventure, and they're loving what's happening because they know.
Oh no!
Because they also killed him too.
Oh no! Oh man. Well, okay then. I guess. Was there anything you needed to get? And there's these stairs here too. Maybe.
Yeah, I think we need to loot this room. Look for anything valuable and definitely see what's up those stairs, because this guy was not burned. He could have been a decoy.
Oh no, I'm gonna scoop up some of those ashes or the sawdust then, just so I have them if I need them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't swallow that pearl. We may need it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, the ritual doesn't like burn up the things or anything, so you can easily sweep them back up into the bone scroll case, and you do a sweep of the room, and you do find that there's a number of poorly bound books on the bookshelf there. Hobart, you're probably very interested in them because he wasn't lying about the fact that they do contain the secrets of immortality, and seem like they're more or less. There's diagrams, there's circles of like ritual circles and things like that described in illustrations, but they're all written almost like he was taking down instructions from someone else. There's also one of the books is also seems to be some kind of a ritual book. If you want to give a quick intelligence check, you might be able to figure out what the rituals in the book are for. Okay. So it would seem that as you're spending some time, you're not under any kind of time crunch here. You're looking through the rituals, and they seem to be like circles of protection, like odd circles of protection, though. Not that you're learned in arcane arts and things like that, but and actually, I probably should have had you roll that as a D10 because you're not skilled in this. But with the 18, we'll kind of take that into account. You just know, in general, this book has something to do with circles of protection.
Circles of protection. Outside my areas of expertise, you care to own this tome, sister? I mean, just Villarry. We can drop that
Okay.
BS now.
Yeah, that's so weird thinking of you as my brother because we're nothing alike. You know?
I know. It's
But,
nonsense,
yeah.
really.
So I know how to read from scrolls, but I'm not really the best at magic overall. I mean, I can take a look. Is the ritual book similar? Like, is it something that would look familiar to me? Or is it more for magic users?
It's more for magic users, but if you want to roll me a D10 intelligence check, if you roll a 10, you might know a little bit. And look at that,
I
you
rolled
did.
a 10.
So it seems like it's detailing a circle that prevents like mundane physical objects to enter over it. And the center of the circle seems to be one that is composed of snakes. And that the snakes serve as a secondary system of protection against whatever it is guarding in the center of the circle. And they serve as guardians. The little bit that you can glean from the book, again, you're not like a true spellcaster, so it's kind of like you're just getting kind of like big concept kinds of things, is you might be able to disrupt the circle of protection, which seems like in this instance to be created by like a chalk substance like etched on the ground. Is that using maybe something like a magical elixir, or casting a counter charm on it might work. But the details are a little sketchy in terms of how to disrupt the circle.
Okay, well, this is a weird one. It involves snakes again.
Why did it have to be snakes?
I know, right? And I don't know. I mean, can I get a sense from looking at the book if I would see the circle? Like if we went upstairs and there was a circle of protection up there, would we see it? Or would it be something that would be invisible to us?
You think that the boundaries of the circle you'd be able to see, but the magic of it would probably be invisible?
Gotcha. So we need to be really careful and look for like circles, because we might not see the snakes right away, but if you go like through it and then there's the snakes there, they'll bite you.
Yeah. We
and
will.
lay eggs in your brain and stuff.
Well, I think we can probably hack through them, but let's try to avoid that. Is there anything else of value in this room, like any potions, vials, liquids, decanters,
The only other thing you
weapons?
find is another a book that has a couple of spells in it: the mending spell, fire resistance, and forget. From this book, they can only be cast as rituals that take like anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes to cast.
Why don't you take this one as well? I mean, if we had a third member of our party who was a wizard, it would have just been pretty convenient. But since you know more about this than I do, if worst comes to worst, just sell it.
Oh, thank you. And then you can keep that book that has all the secrets of immortality. And, it's kind of a
Yes,
fair deal, right?
I think so. And maybe
We
we
each get a
split,
book.
and maybe we split the profit on that bone scroll case, because I think even after we finish the ritual, we'll still have the case. That looks pretty expensive.
It's kind of a creepy one, but yeah, I
Well,
agree.
I mean, maybe what's his name? The wizard will buy it back.
Slightly used bone scroll case. Okay, well, I
Shall
guess we could
we
go upstairs.
shall we see what we face in the highest level, the pergola of this strange citadel?
Sure,
So
let's go up
you
there.
make your way up the spiraling metal staircase to the top floor, that little crown on top of the building that you saw. And dangling 10 feet from the floor, once you get to the height of the stairs and you enter into the room, you see a man, a burned man,
Uh-oh.
in a hanging from a what looks like a wicker, very flimsy wicker cage. And he's just kind of swaying back and forth. This charred, blistering skinned man looks like the burned remains of a human that had been through some kind of house fire or something. You feel a cold chill in the room as you approach, as if the temperature has dropped 30 degrees. Beneath the burned creature's feet, you see hundreds of hissing snakes that slither atop each other. These shifting serpents all seem very centrally kind of confined. As you look for that evidence of that protection circle you were looking for, you can see blue chalk marks strange symbols in a circular pattern around the cage. And it seems like all these shifting snakes, they stay within that chalk boundary. The burned man looks at you, and he slowly reaches out with a blackened hand and gestures for you to approach.
I'd come a little closer, but there's a bunch of snakes down there.
And yes, it's very unnerving to have hundreds of roiling snakes beneath you as you swing in a strange bird cage like. And it's actually a little bit coincidental, the whole bird cage looking thing, but I won't get into that.
And the snakes too. It just seems like we run into the same animals everywhere we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, so if we could probably hear you from here if you just want to chat.
Is it time?
I think if you mean, is it time for you to embrace that which every mortal must one day embrace? The answer is yes. But fear not, we have a very humane way of helping you transition to the other side.
Then I am ready.
Yeah, we heard that from your decoy downstairs, so pardon us if we're a little skeptical. Maybe you could dismiss the snakes. That would help. That would help us believe you, I think.
That is not within my power. Perhaps Caretaker Genghis could help you with this.
Genghis has preceded you on your final destination, I'm afraid. He was playing silly games with us, and unfortunately, it cost him his life. It's a shame, and we would really like to limit the collateral damage today. given all that we've already faced. So I think what we can do is, from this nice distance of where we're standing, we have a nice ritual that perhaps we can try to go through here.
Yeah,
If
I'm
you,
a bit concerned though, because I don't think the sawdust will go through the circle, because of the whole ritual thing. Sawdust is a pretty mundane item, and mundane items aren't allowed to pass through it.
oh, that
Wise
is.
you are.
Hmm. And you say you can't get rid of the snakes. That you're stuck in that circle. You can't just wade through the snakes. Why don't you just come out? Come join us.
I'll try. You see, he kind of like drops out of the cage, and he watches all like the snakes start like biting at his body. He goes, "Ah, it hurts. Oh, make it stop. Oh God."
So
Just keep crawling. You can do it.
Hobart, now
You
stop
you
it.
can do it. Come. I'll just reach an arm out and I'll pull you out of the circle of snakes.
I need to So are you wanting to?
Oh,
Why are
God.
you in? Get back in that cage.
I can't. You see him like meekly, like trying to reach up to the cage. I am in agony. Make it stop. Oh God.
We want to, good sir. We have
Oh,
a ritual
no.
of kindness.
I'm
That's
gonna
why we're
spit
here.
on the chalky. I'm gonna try to rub the chalky substance of the circle. I know it said magical stuff, but she's just desperately oh my gosh, maybe if I just spit, rub, see if I can mar it.
So you are able to do so, but as you do, you feel intense like pain go through your body. You take 5 points of damage,
Damn it!
but you're able to move a little bit of that chalk out of the way. And it must have worked because as you're doing so, you see it starts with just a couple of snakes at first, but soon there's maybe a dozen snakes or so that have crossed through that boundary and are escaping the inner circle
Okay,
there.
you should chop those snakes up there, Hobart, as they come. I'm not really feeling the greatest over here.
Hobart is getting in his best rat slaying pose, and he's like, they're about, I'm used to hitting things that are pretty low. He's got his shield, and he's just gonna start hacking any snake that comes their way.
So as you're getting prepared for this, the snakes start to like bind together and start to form this gigantic guardian, and almost like a larger snake serpent, composed of smaller snakes. And so, surprisingly, we're gonna roll our first initiative of the night, first and last, as you go head to head with the snake guardian. So,
No.
initiative is just a D20, and it's modified by your agility modifier.
Okay.
I think I also have another +1 to initiative for some reason.
That could be.
Yeah, I have a +2. I can't remember where the other one is getting gained from. Maybe just because I'm a warrior and that's my level 1. I don't know. But for some reason, I'm convinced I have a +2.
So first we have, what did Villarry have?
I have a +2, so 21.
21. And Hobart.
Hold on, I have too many windows here. Okay, so I have 9 is my initiative.
Okay, so Villarry, you are up first. You just rubbed away that chalking, and then this happened pretty rapidly afterwards. And you're still probably reeling from that pain that you felt
Yeah,
go
that
up and
really
down your arm.
hurt. I guess I should have read that ritual a little bit closer there. Let's see. I'm gonna throw a flask of oil at the snake guardian. See if I can cover that thing with oil.
Okay. Let me just see if we've got rules for flask of oil throwing. Probably not. So just give me like an agility check.
Okay. 19.
Nice.
Okay. Yes, you managed to kind of, with your flask, kind of hose it down so it's pretty properly doused up and down. Many of the serpentine bodies have this kind of slick outer film of oil that you've managed to pretty evenly douse all over its body.
And then I'll just try to back up a bit so it's not gonna. I mean, I'm feeling pretty hurt right now, so just get a little bit of distance.
So it's up next, and it's going to pursue after you. And it's going to first attempt to bite at you. I rolled a 2. It gets a +4 on that, so a 6 is going to miss. It does have a second action die, and so the one, like, kind of makeshift serpentine mouth that it creates tries to bite at you, but then you watch as, like, a second head kind of rears its head up out of the body, and there's, like, almost like these kind of python looking creatures that are looking over at Hobart, and they emit like some kind of a venomous spit that comes over in your direction.
Shield.
Give me a... Oh, it's an attack roll. I thought it was a reflex. Ooh, yes. So you put your shield up. I rolled a 6, and you managed to block whatever that substance is. You can kind of hear like a little bit of like sizzling, almost like it's eating through the metal of your shield. It's not damaging your shield exactly, but it's starting to eat through the metal little by little. Hobart, you are up next.
So, if I understand correctly, as a warrior, I get 2 actions. Is that correct? And I can use them both to attack?
I don't know how you'd be getting a second action, but you get one.
Okay.
And with your attack, you can declare a mighty deed.
Right.
Which would be like if you wanted to like do something kind of obscure or something a little bit different than just tacking on damage. Maybe you wanted to like blind it, or you wanted to trip an opponent or something like that. You might throw a little flare in there to get some kind of secondary effect.
I am wondering if I could use my Eradicator short sword, but as I attack, like, have it, well, I guess maybe I don't have a flint, but maybe across the floor to make a spark. I'll do like a slashing upward move to make like a rain of sparks as I'm attacking it, trying to ignite the oil.
Yeah, I like that.
Mighty deed.
So basically what you need to do is you have to roll a 3 on your deed die, and the attack, all modifiers added up, needs to hit.
Okay. So do you want me to roll the attack or just that one solitary D3 first?
All of it together.
Okay.
And if it happens to be a 3 and then it hits, we'll resolve damage first, and then we'll resolve the added effect. Okay.
Okay, well that was a 1 for the... All right, so then to attack it's 1d20. Now is the D3 that I would roll for this a different D3, or is it that first D3 I rolled?
It's that one. Yeah, that's your deed die. So
okay,
no,
and then,
no mighty deed.
So it would be 16, 17 plus my luck modifier, because I'm using my lucky weapon, which would be an additional 2 since I burned some luck. So that would put me at 17, 8, 19.
Did you have strength modifier in there too?
I think strength modifier only does for the damage. I think this is just to hit.
Oh. I'll have to look that up. But yeah, it's a hit.
My understanding is the luck modifier I get to use to hit, and then when I roll damage, I get to use my strength modifier.
Okay. I think you get strength on both, but
well, I would get then a plus.
Irregardless, it's a hit.
Okay.
And so you'll have your strength modifier, your D3, right, and then the damage.
So damage would be 4 plus the 1d3 I rolled earlier, which is 5 plus strength modifier is 6. 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay. So you kind of like hack away basically at the secondary head, and you see all these snakes kind of fall to the ground. They're not a part of like the big form of the serpent guardian. And then we're back to the top.
Is
and
it possible though for me to use movement? Because what I would also like to do is try to get closer to the burned man, unless this snake is between me and him, the snake beast. Because I may want to just kill him in the hopes that the monster just collapses if he dies.
Yeah. You can't. There's so many snakes that you'd probably be putting yourself at like. You'd be putting yourself in a very precarious situation by walking in there.
Nope, I get it. That's cool.
So, Villarry, it is your turn.
Okay, well, I do have flint and steel, so I'm wondering if I can use this action and just see like if I can get it to have some fire and then throw it at the oily snake monster.
Yeah. So this will just be a reflex save for the snake swarm, or the serpent guardian. What do I have? +4. And I rolled a 10. Not enough. So, I believe there is damage on that, though. Like listed damage.
Sadly, I don't have that information. I just thought it sounded like it would be a good idea. So
Sounds like a very good idea.
It is 1d6 damage. So I'll let you. Yeah, you can go ahead and roll that.
Roll a d6. Oh boy, 1.
1. Okay, and then it continues to burn. So at the start of its turns, it takes more. And it is now its turn, so it'll take a d6 again.
Okay. Well, there's 3 more.
3 more. It's going to take an attack against you. The bite. Ooh, 9 is going to miss.
Yeah.
And the other head sort of reforms back into the body. And this one's going to try to take a bite attack also at Hobart. And not with that roll. That's a 7. Hobart, it is your turn.
All right. Seeing that it's already kind of smoldering, I think so. Right now, it just has 1 head, or it has 2 heads still.
It reformed the second head. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to.
They came back into its form.
I'm sorry. 1 or 2 heads? 2.
2 heads. Yeah.
Okay.
Those snakes that you kind of cleaved off, like slithered back up and rejoined the mass, and like the rest of the snakes just kind of pushed their way out and recreated that Hydra head.
And I don't know if this is a mighty deed or not, but I want to try to cleave like straight down between the 2 heads, as though I could like cut it in half, maybe make a path to the Burning Man, maybe hit something vital if such a thing exists. So my hope would be to cleave it in half down the middle.
Sure. Let's see that.
All right, so a D3 again to see if such a thing is possible.
Okay, if the attack hits, this is what will happen.
So that would be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and if you're counting strength modifier, 13 to hit.
Yep, 12 is what you needed, so you got it.
Ooh,
okay.
Mighty deed.
Mighty. All right, damage will be 2 plus the 3 on the D6 is 5 plus strength modifier is 6 again.
So you cleave down that center, kind of where that theoretical neck V is of these 2 serpents, and it almost seems like all of the snakes, you're cutting a few of them, but many of them are leaping off of the form, and the snake serpent, the form of this serpent collapses. Now there's still a swarm of snakes there, But it seems like whatever magic was binding them together to form this guardian is no more, and now they're just snakes slithering on the ground. So you still have an active. This is its second form, essentially. And then we're back to the top, and it is Villary's turn.
Oh boy. Okay. So,
Throw a dagger at the burned man.
oh, I don't, I don't know if. Well, you know what? That's not a bad idea, Hobart. If you can take care of the snakes, maybe I can see if this will work.
I got the slimy bastards.
At this point, you look into the center of the circle. You can hardly see the burned man because there's so many snakes just on top of him, just like biting down at him, and you can hear them.
I might have to wait on that one. It's like I can't really get a good angle, but I'm going to. I have a sling and some sling stones. Can I just try to aim at some stones or a stone at the hunk in the middle? See if I can take out a snake or something.
Sure. Yeah. Targeting the snake swarm.
Yeah, just see what I can peck off with that there. So that would be a missile attack, right? So a 10.
That'll hit.
Oh wow, okay. So my sling does 1d4 for two damage to those little slithering snakes.
There's like one constrictor-sized snake that you managed to like lop right in the head, and that one kind of was maybe forming like kind of the spine of the serpent earlier, and that one you hit and is unconscious. Many more smaller snakes though yet, and they are still on fire. Yeah, they'll still be taking fire damage. So 1d6.
Okay. I kind of feel bad about burning the burned man even more, but what can you do? So 2 fire.
So the snake swarm is many of them are trying to nip. They're just in a frenzy as they're ignited in this flame. Several of them are trying to nip at Villarry. Ooh, and luckily these dice I haven't rolled anything higher than a 6. This one would be a 6, so that'll miss.
I have a luck of 1, but boy, I'm feeling lucky tonight.
Well, after all the traps and other stuff that you've been hit with, like, I guess the pendulum is swinging back the other way.
Yeah.
So
no,
now
you
we turn
down.
We turn now to Hobart.
All right, so you say there's like a snake swarm, and they're all like around the Burning Man right now.
Some of them are, yeah.
Well, Hobart wants to basically do like a flying lunge with the short sword, like plunging it into the writhing mass where he thinks the Burning Man is. Like,
okay.
Just a like kind of a desperate leap lunge, like to try to again end the burned man.
Sure. Make an attack roll.
So if it's an attack roll, it's 7 plus the luck modifier is 9, and I always get 1d3, which takes me a second. Which is another 2, so or another 3.
So you can roll damage.
Okay, so 1d6. 4 plus the 3 on the d3 is 7, plus strength is 8.
So as you lunge into the center of the circle, you bring your spear down. Is it your spear?
Short sword.
Bring your short sword down into where you think the Burning Man is. You just kind of feel like the temperature in this room gets even colder than it was. It's almost like frigid, frosty at this point. Villarry, you can see like the blue chalk just kind of like blows away, and all of these snakes just seem like they some of them like perish from the fire, but those that don't seem to slither into the corners of the room and find little nooks and crannies to kind of slither and escape out of this chamber. And Hobart, you look down, and your sword is in the chest of the Burning Man, who's just looking up at you, and he looks like I don't know, little nonplussed, I guess. He's just like, it won't work.
What will? The ritual? Is that the only thing?
Maybe. Are you capable of performing the ritual?
I don't know. It took a lot out of her last time, so is there another way? I mean, couldn't we just chop you into pieces? I mean, wouldn't that be, I mean, how would you survive that?
There is one other way. I could give it to you.
The immortality thing? That doesn't, I mean, look at you, man. You don't wear it well.
Well,
Can't we just take you to the wizard? Come on, I'll piggyback. I mean, you're kind of gross, but you know, the wizard probably can do it.
you cannot take me from this room.
So what does it entail to, give the immortality to somebody else?
Press your lips against these blistering lips of mine, and I will pass it on to you.
I mean,
What?
I've been known to experiment in my youth, but that was college.
So, okay, but then what happens if the ritual is done? Does that mean you're dead, or you just lose the immortality? Because I'm thinking I could take it from you and you would, go to where you need to go. And then someone else could perform the ritual on me eventually.
Yes. Yes, it could work.
Are you just saying that because you want me to take it from you?
What you see upon me is not the curse, but the end result of many decades of not being able to perish, of immortality, of enduring mortal blow after mortal blow.
Yeah.
You will not assume this form instantaneously. It takes aeons for that to happen.
I don't know, Hobart. What do you think?
Man, it's a really tough call because we don't really know what the ritual of kindness does. We don't know if we go back to Selwinder and he performs it if you just drop dead, or if it removes the immortality and you get to just live your natural life.
How about this? You and I make a deal. We'll do this thing here. I'll give you bone case and you find, a wizard you trust or something. And in about, 50 years or so, then we do the ritual. We don't have to tell Selwinder about, what happened here.
You don't think that's gonna piss Death off? And that
Yeah, what's
people
he
are
gonna do about it?
he's gonna send people to burn you. He's gonna send people like us to kill you. I won't do it, but others will.
Didn't really think about that part. But see, the way I see it though is Death is already trying to kill me.
Allegedly, yes. I mean, yeah, I suppose.
So.
But I mean, are you gonna hang out here in this room for 50 years?
Oh, that's a good question. Can I leave the room or is it just you that can't leave the room?
The room has been designed to contain me, not one with the gift.
Yes, yeah, I'm believing everything this guy's saying. It sounds good to me.
I mean, this is your decision. I'm not kissing this guy. I don't want immortality. I feel as though I've done what Death wanted us to do. We got here. There's this burned man. We can go get Selwinder to walk through the hayfield of bear traps if he wants to come and do this. We got rid of the snake circle. I mean, I feel like we've done, a pretty good job here. I don't want to be immortal even temporarily. I've had too many brushes with this concept, and I don't fancy joining the ranks of the burned man here. I think it's a gamble, and if you're willing to take it, so be it. If not,
How many good years would you say you had before, all this burn stuff happened? Was it good for a while and then got bad, or was it all just like right away death's out to get you?
Yeah, in my early 80s, it was pretty good.
See, I mean, I think that sounds pretty reasonable, and maybe in the meantime they can find a cure that doesn't result in, I mean, maybe death can understand. Death, if you're here and you're listening, this is just a temporary solution to solve your problem. We're doing the best we can with what we got. And, you got some cool books there. We could do some research. I think it sounds like a good plan, Hobart.
Don't worry about death. He'll be cool.
Again, this is your call. I don't know. I mean, we could try to just carry him out of this room. What happens if we do that? What'll happen, Burned Man? Which sounds like Birdman, which is like Birdmaster. Anyway, what would happen if I just dragged you down these stairs?
You won't be able to. The wards won't allow me to pass through the threshold of the door.
You're making killing you very difficult.
Yeah, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Well, I'm coming up short on other alternatives, Villarry. Maybe you take on the blessing and curse of immortality from this
temporarily.
guy.
Yeah, temporarily.
And we see what our options are after we leave. We don't have to go back to that, creepy wizard. We could inquire around and see if what this ritual of kindness really entails, because that guy's all sorts of sketchy.
Yeah, he's totally sketchy. Now give me a smooch.
Okay, and I smile with my one gold tooth in the front.
Cling. It lights off the light from the smoldering snake pile.
I take a big step back.
So, with the kiss complete, he just kind of there's like a momentary pause, and then he just kind of dissolves into an ash that kind of blows away to the corners of the room, and you feel that you've got the gift of immortality.
We should go fight a dragon.
Well, I don't know. Then I'll look like the burn man really fast.
Oh, that's a good
there.
point. You take the damage, you just don't die.
2 hit points,
See, and that's why I didn't want the curse. Like the gift. I just, I can't think of every angle. You can't have cat-like reflexes, major rat-killing powers, and genius mind. Like you top out somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I'm feeling pretty good. We accomplished our third mission of the day.
It's been a profitable day, and I mean, we still have this bone scroll we can maybe sell after the whole ritual thing is figured out.
I think maybe we want to hold on to that for a little bit.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. just for down the road. I mean, I got a trip. I got to go back to the land of the 8 cities. I got some business I need to wrap up with someone else. So, yeah.
Well, and maybe strikes you that if you could convince Villarry to go with you, you've actually got the gift of immortality that person was searching for.
I may have
a little bit better
solution to this. There's this woman I met who is compelling me to find the secret of immortality. I was going to give her the book, but if you're not opposed to kissing a crone, I mean, you just kiss this guy. I mean,
I'd try anything once,
two laricates, one stone. Let's do this.
Sounds like our next mission there, Hobart.
All right.
All stories maybe we'll see someday. Actually, I wish I could go back and finish. We always say that with the DCC games, then we never go back to them. But This is a pretty good one. So that was cheating death. Maybe someday, Villarry is going to be probably the target of death now at some point here, until that curse is completely gone, because they want to expunge that completely from Naywan at some point. But we'll see. Maybe someday we'll learn what happens there. But this was cheating death. Hope you enjoyed it. This is a level 1 of DCC Lankhmar adventure. Yeah, this was a little fill-in for our community campaign here tonight. Let's